Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
That means that we punched our ticket to go try to win the Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights here on Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP, from the 313, and by my side is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. What is going on, brother? Happy Friday to you, and happy Friday to all of Bill's Mafia out there.
Happy Friday, brother. And we're a week away. At this time next week,
We are a week away. About damn time, right? Like,
yeah.
Good Lord. It seems like it's and these off seasons, Mikey, are so brutal. They really are. Like, football takes a long time. It seems like forever.
Season goes so fast.
And the season goes so fast. And it's such heartache when you don't make it to the Super Bowl and you have to. And it's not. There's only one team, like we always say. There's only one team. So there's what 31 other teams that are fan bases that are having these long off seasons of heartbreak, especially teams that made it to the playoffs or got far, or even in the Super Bowl, lost Super Bowl. Like brutal, man. It just seems like we're having these off seasons. We're always so close, right? We're just so close. We're knocking on the door. But can we figure it out this year? That's always the question, right? What can we do? And well, Mikey, like you said, the draft is next week, and it starts there. It really does. It starts there with the younger talent and the pieces that we build, that bring in. So go ahead, Mikey.
Technically, it started 2 months ago as we started
in the offseason.
Free agency.
That is true.
This is where you start to get excited because this is where you should build the core of your team with the young talent that is cost controlled. So you're not going out and having to spend big money. Speaking of, long off seasons, Brandon Beane dropped us a little nugget yesterday and went ahead and signed an old friend, Tre'Davious White.
He did. Trade Day is back. Look, man, we talked about this, I think last year when we were like, hey, what do you think about bringing back Trey? I think at that time we were still like on a cheap deal. Why not? Like, and it makes sense. Listen, this isn't, we all are well aware of Trey's injuries, right? We're all aware that he's older now. He's not like super old. I think he's 30. But I think this is a good vet signing. He's familiar with the defense. He's familiar with the team. He's, he can help out the young, the young DBs we wind up drafting. So I don't hate the signing at all. Matter of fact, if Trey can even give us I don't know, 65% of what he used to be. I'll take it. Like, I'm good with that. This isn't a Josh Norman signing. You get what I'm saying? Like, no offense to Josh Norman, but Josh Norman's way past whatever he had. I'll be honest with you. I thought Trey White last year at times looked okay. So, like, we'll see what happens. But either way, I think this is a good step or a good move by the Buffalo Bills, right? As far as bringing a guy that knows the defense, a veteran, a guy that can help out in that DB room. So, and depth, of course, right? And why not, right? So, it'll be interesting to see if he lasts, though, right? Injury-wise, because he's had some pretty bad luck in Buffalo as far as that goes. So go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I think when we were texting back and forth when it happened yesterday, we talked about it. What this does, and I think Spin hits it here. Where was it at? Right here. You know, what this does is it sets the floor. Listen, we've gone into these playoffs with Levi Wallace as CB2. Like, Levi Wallace was an undrafted free agent. Say what you want about him, but if we get early season trade from last year with the Rams, I want no part of that. If we get what we saw with the Ravens, that gives us a higher depth chart. Yeah. You know, maybe we do take a risk and draft someone like Ravel, or we draft someone like Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame, who's coming off of a hip injury. And we do take more of a risk so we can bring that player back slowly. What it does is sets the expectation lower for that corner pick. Like, we expected Cole Bishop to come in last year. We wanted him to jump right in because Hyde and Poyer were gone. And that didn't.
Yep. Deal with the chat real quick. I'll be right back. I got some issues going on with the computer. I'll be right back.
Hopefully a full season off the Achilles injury helps him out a lot. I would agree. Another year away from it. You saw him get better and better at the end of last year as we were moving through, as he got in out of a horrible system for him because the Rams like to play a lot of man-to-man, and then he went to Baltimore where they helped solidify that defense and they played more zone than man. And I thought Trey played well inside of Baltimore. You know, we're not asking him to come back and be the all-pro Trey. Cole comes in and says, believe it or not, Trey was healthy all last year. I am excited to have him back. Mikey, you need to be a bit louder. A bit. Am I a little soft right now?
Sorry about that, Mikey. What's going on there?
Am I a little soft right now?
You sound good to me, but you know how that goes because we got the headsets on. Okay. So if you are, I guess just turn your mic up a little. You can turn it up on the slider on on your end. So but yeah, you sound fine to me. But if you're low, turn it up. They're saying turn it up, baby. Turn it on up. Turn it up.
Oh, man. Turn it up.
So what did I miss here? It says Spin says YouTube should allow you guys to control.
I'm sorry.
Let's see here. That's all right. YouTube. All right. YouTube should allow you guys to control the ads. At least have it so the ad hits everyone at once. Yeah, listen, Spin. I know it's annoying. Trust me. I watch obviously YouTube videos, so I get it, but it doesn't work that way. And yes, for some reason, right? It always goes to an ad on the worst times, right? Especially during a live. And it's like, but obviously we have no control over that. So sorry. It's what it is, right? It is what it is, right?
Listen, Tommy's always twice as loud as me. It's just, it's his nature.
yeah, baby.
Always. Tommy is a personality.
Yep. So are we still on the Trey White? What's your thoughts about the Trey White?
We were going through it. I was talking about, I didn't feel like Trey, fit well with the Rams system. I thought he was also coming off the Achilles. Then he got traded mid-year to Baltimore. I thought he fit better in Baltimore's system, and he had he looked good at times. He showed flashes. But now he'll be a year out from his Achilles. And, we're not expecting all pro Trey to come back.
No,
we just need to have someone who's better than Kair Elum to come in
correct.
If something happens.
Correct. we would feel more comfortable with Trey, knowing what we obviously know now about Kair. And it's no knock on Kair, by the way.
Kair just didn't fit our system. He's a man corner who didn't fit.
It's gonna, you know what? I'll definitely be, watching to see what he does in Dallas, like for sure. Like I am very interested to see if they could turn Kair around and get his because honestly, Mikey, I thought it was a little bit more to do with his confidence. I thought his confidence took a big shot, and he said this, by the way. He said this, he acknowledged this, and I don't think it ever got right, even though he said it got better last year, whatever. Like, trust me, Mikey, I'm telling you, like, going for a first round pick, not starting, getting Benford beating him out, all the players listen to the media, players hear all the noise. Your coach is on your ass, your coach is making you inactive, right? Like, it has to take a toll on you, right? It's normal for anyone. So I'm sure his confidence was it never got back. And I'm sure he was and when you're like that, it's like walking on eggshells, right? So I'm sure Kair was walking on eggshells, and you can't play that way, right? And hopefully for him, when he goes to Dallas, it's a fresh start. Right, he doesn't have right. He doesn't know anybody. Fresh start with the coach. You can earn his confidence. So we'll see what happens. I'm very interested to see what happens where Kair Elum's career goes from here. But we got Trey back, and I'm cool with that. But I still want the Bills to draft a corner. Obviously, this is not the answer. Let's just hopefully they address that in the first 2 rounds.
Sword. By the way, I turned it up. Does it sound better?
You've always sounded fine to me, but chat, does he sound good?
Am I louder? Am I more boisterous?
Yes.
It says, hence, I never understood the pick, because I never thought Elum was a team pick. We called that out on draft night. Yeah. He must have lost the playbook on the plane. I never thought he fit what McDermott wanted to do. Like, he had never played in a zone scheme going back to high school.
Right,
so why would you pick a guy who couldn't do that?
But like all of us, and I think we're all kind of guilty of it. Not really guilty of it, but we're going to see some positive out of every draft pick for the most part. Like, even if we don't like it initially, right? Meaning we're like, like even the Dalton Kincaid thing, but then the next day we're like, okay, you know what? He had a good, press conference, or we looked at the film and he does this good, or, like for Kair, yeah, we agree to the scheme. We don't know about that, but he was motivated, got on the plane. He said everything you wanted to hear, right? Give me that playbook. I'm ready to learn. I'm going to do whatever. And we were like, yeah, okay. Like, that's great. This is exactly what we want to hear. Right. And it just didn't work out. But I think we're all guilty of that. We all will turn a negative, or at least things we don't like, and see some positive in it. And that's what we did with Kair. It just didn't work out. Go ahead.
I don't disagree with you. And Spin calls it out here. He needed continuous playing time. Listen, if we did to Josh what we did to Kair, Josh wouldn't be Josh today. He had to ride through those bumps.
I agree with that.
The difference is the time that they were drafted. When we drafted Josh, we were at the beginning of building something. So we could ride through those bumps, to where when we drafted Kair, we were already years into this build. We needed someone that, could play out there and not have those bumps.
Yeah, 100%. And of course, it helped that Benford actually, was really good, right? Like, not real. I don't think he was real. Yeah, it took a job. Now, I would say this: Benford was kind of, he wasn't great out the gate. I thought Benford, he was good, and I think in the beginning, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were splitting kind of reps and their snaps in the beginning, right? So Kair would see the field, Benford would see. So it's kind of like back and forth. I think like McDermott was just kind of feeling it out, right? Who and eventually Benford ultimately won the job, right? Like, and it really, honestly, Benford never looked back. Let's be real. Benford never looked back once he took that. It was funny because I think me and you talked about it year 2 of Kair Elum. We were like, they're going to have this battle, right? Like, Kair still has an opportunity. Like, bro, nope. Never look back, dude. And that's credit to Benford. You know what I mean? Like, look, and he got paid, right? Benford got paid, right? So shout out to him, man. He came into camp, late round pick and busted his tail, earned it.
Yeah. Now we need Benford to stay healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's his next step.
We need a lot of people to stay healthy in the playoffs. But I agree.
Finally stayed healthy, and then our corners went down.
Right.
The signing Trey and being shorthanded on a defensive tackle right now leads you to believe it's going to be the first pick's going to be defense. I think it's going to be defensive tackle too. Or they're going to say best player available. So if Will Johnson falls and he's a better player than that defensive tackle that's on the board, they'll take Will Johnson.
Right.
What this does is we have our starters that can play. Like having Trey at CB2 or having Dane Jackson at CB2 is a big difference. You know what I mean? And then say we take a Trey Amos or a Siobhan Revel or Benjamin Morrison in the first 2 rounds. Now he comes in and he battles for it. If he wins it, we have Trey and we have Dane as backups, and they both started for us in playoff games together.
Right.
Our room floor just got so much bigger.
Yep. They're still saying Mike's low. I turned your slider up. So let me know if you can hear him better, Roy.
I turned the mic up too.
Yeah, but I turned it up on StreamYard. So just a heads up, Mike. I know we're talking not football talk here. We're talking StreamYard and gadgets, tech stuff. On there, if the box is checked where it says automatically adjust the mic volume, it doesn't matter what you do on your microphone. Okay. Yeah, so just a heads up. So I turned that off, and you should be good to go.
Listen, I'd rather be low than laggy.
Oh, dude, laggy's the worst. Isn't it the worst? Dude, yeah. I will say this, man. Like, I don't care if you have the greatest content in the world. If I go to your channel and it is laggy, I can't do it. I can't watch. I can't watch here. It's just so frustrating to watch that shit, man. I don't know how people stick through it. I'm like, nope. So yeah, man. I agree.
What I do when that happens is I don't watch it. I just listen.
Yeah. Yep. It happens though, man. Technology, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Beane trades back and we end up with the Graham and Sanders, or Amuka in the second round? What do you think?
Sanders. What Sanders are we talking about? We're talking about I don't know what Sanders is talking about.
Yeah, I don't think about Shador. Wilson, Golden, Starks, Grant, Amos, Harmon are the ideal first round picks for me. If they all are gone, trade back so we can move up in the second. See, I don't think Harmon at all, like Harmon will definitely, I think, be there for the Bills. I think over Grant. I think Grant's the one that you'd have to trade up for.
I don't think Harmon or Grant's going to be there, to be honest.
See, I do.
think we'll be looking at Tyleik Williams.
Okay.
Or someone like that.
It's possible. I'll say this. Harmon had a decent pro day, so maybe his stock went up, but he was projected late first or early second. So we'll see. And honestly, it all depends on like every team, like every draft, there's a reach or there's a surprise. So which knocks players down the board. So we'll see. I'm interested. I have a feeling. I haven't done the video yet, but and I will. But I do what I feel is going to happen. I do feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to trade up, and they're going to try to get Grant. That's how I see this draft going. But we'll see. I could totally be wrong. But I have a feeling the Bills, even if it's not Grant, I don't think they're trading back, and I don't think they're staying put. I think they're trading up to get the player they want that's available.
You think the Bills are?
Yeah.
See, I think they're going back. I don't think they're going up.
I got you. They went back last year, and I thought they would too. I had a feeling they would because I thought Coleman was an early second round. But this year, I don't think that's the case. I think they desperately need a defensive tackle. You got enough draft picks this year where you can maneuver. I'm tired of the Bills, to be honest with you, going back. Like get the guy you need. Like right now, we need defensive tackle badly. And if there's guys there that could be taken for a trade, go ahead and do that. instead of drafting, trading down. And I don't know. That's how I see it. We'll see what happens. I just have a feeling the Bills will trade up.
So are you willing to give up your second round pick to move up?
It depends how many spots, Mikey. That's
and I asked that question because we don't have the third to move up. So we'll probably have to give up that second round pick. And that's
so well, if we do, we're going to get more back than just their first. It would be probably a third round or fourth round.
Third or fourth.
Exactly, which I would still be okay with because we still have a second round pick.
So would you rather 3 top 65s or would you rather 2 top 65s and one of them being a top 25?
Honestly, Mikey, it just depends on where their trades at. Are they trading up to get in the top 20? Are they trading up to get in top 15? Right? It really depends at that point for me. But once again, we have 2 second-round draft picks. You can maneuver that, and if you want to get in the top 15, and they're like, all right, we'll trade for your first for our first in the second round, and we'll give you a third or fourth. I'll do that all day. If the Bills get the player they want, obviously, right? Like if it's an impactful player, I have no problem that they do that. None whatsoever. And they'll probably, what I'm guessing is Beane's going to watch the draft, how it's going in the first 10 picks, because we're not going to go that crazy. I don't think Beane's going to get in the top 10. But I think after 10, that's where Beane is going to be paying close attention to see who's dropping and who's willing to play ball as far as a trade goes. And I do think Beane could possibly get in the top 20 with a trade. So we'll see. But that's how I see it. I could totally be wrong.
I love Spen's idea here. Take Amos at 30 and then trade up for Collins.
I like Collins too. I would be fine.
Trade up for Tyreek Williams. I'd be good with that too. The interesting thing for me will be if you have Harmon and Amos and Revel and Morrison, all those guys on the board, which one does he go with? Knowing Brandon Beane and how much I fall in love with players, not positions, he's going to go with like a Tyreek Williams or a TJ Sanders or some weird freaking, maybe he grabs, Xavier Watts, the safety, in the first, and it'll just piss off everybody.
I hope not. We'll see. It is interesting. It is. He's done some moves that we definitely did not see. I would say, what would you say your most shocking Brandon Beane? I'll say mine first. I would say it was the Dalton Kincaid pick. I did not see that coming. So what was your most shocking pick? Like we were like, what?
Kincaid was one of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was the back-to-back. It was the Boogie Basham pick over Creed Humphreys. We needed the center,
right? Because
we knew Mitch was hanging on after the concussion year. Creed Humphreys, who was considered the best center in the draft, he was a wrestler, so it was everything McDermott wanted. And we went Boogie Basham, who once again was never not a scheme fit for what the Bills were doing.
Right. And there, by the way,
the Boogie Basham pick just floored me.
And that is another example, Mikey, of a player like us as fans. No, we know it wasn't a good pick. We're not excited, but we're trying to find something good out of it, right? And I remember when we drafted him, and I think we talked about this and a lot of people bring this up. It's like, oh, but they get a guy who's ready now, and he's been right, like he can step in now, and we're getting thin, and it's for the future. And I'm like we were trying to find reasons why it made sense, but really, it didn't make any sense. And we were right.
Me and Spen are, thinking the same way.
Yeah, it made no sense. And like I said, I think people were trying to make sense over it. That Groot was raw. Boogie could. I remember some people saying Boogie was going to play over him. Yeah. Because Groot was raw, and that was the whole reason. He was 5 years in college, and he's pro ready, and we're getting thin at that time. I think I forget who we had, but we're getting thin at DE, and we're gonna have all. And I'm like,
yeah,
bro, I didn't see it. I did
wasn't it the Addison years? Like he was getting ready to come off.
Yeah, remember there was some guy exactly.
Yeah.
So we were trying to make it make sense, right? Like we do every draft for the most part. We find something to like go, okay, well, I maybe this is what they were thinking, right? But the Boogie one, obviously, you know when it backfires is when you trade when you trade your early draft picks like Cody Ford and Boogie Basham and Kair Elum
for 7th rounders. Yeah. Trixon says, watch Beane draft Josh Farmer at 30. I will lose my shit on camera. I don't want Josh Farmer in the 4th round. I want no part of that guy. You know, another one that I was really mad about that I was wrong, though, was Terrell Bernard over Dylan Parham.
Oh, yeah.
I so badly wanted Parham. And he's a good guard. Because the next year we took Torrance and made it fine, and then Bernard turned into, our starting middle linebacker. But I was pissed. And then the next year we took Dorian over the tackle that I wanted. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Listen, man, I did videos on 2 players that were never made the roster or terrible that I thought were sneaky draft picks. One of them was Justin Shorter, and I forget the other one. It was a receiver as well. Do you remember the other guy? I forget who it was, and I was all amped up for him. He did not.
It was Marquise. God, what is the little fast guy out of Houston?
Yeah. Yes.
Marquise something. Can't remember.
Yeah, who was it? It was definitely. I did the video. I'm like, oh, this sneaky pig is gonna, bro. Nothing. Terrible. So.
Yeah, Spin. We see the draft very similar. Me and you. It's wild. Like last year, I was screaming for Troy Franklin because if we would have drafted him, we wouldn't be looking for a speed receiver this year. But no, we had to grab Carter, who did nothing for us, and now we're trying to replace him. Goodwin. Nope, it wasn't Goodwin.
It wasn't Goodwin. It wasn't. I wish I remembered.
God, what was his name?
It was early on, bro. It was before me and you started doing podcasts together. So it had to have been in the 2021.
He was like a 5th. He was like a 5th or 6th round pick.
He was a late round pick. God, man, I almost want to go through the history of the Bills draft picks because I was so wrong on him. He was so fast, and he was a good punt returner, but he broke his foot like right out the gate, and it was like never recovered. Yes, God, man, what was his name, man? Now, you're right. We started the podcast the next year because that was the same year of Ed Oliver. Correct. Man, I gotta find now, bro. It's gonna drive me nuts. You know me. It's gonna drive me insane. So look at the chats, and I'm gonna find this dude. Yep. Trigg says Trey Elum is my dream cornerback. Grant's my dream D tackle. Stevenson, you had it, Mikey. Marquez Stevenson. Thank you. Spin. Yes. Johnny Stevenson. On the spot, buddy. Oh, did he say it right when I said it? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Johnny on the spot. Spin was. Listen, those are my two favorite players in this draft. Outside of like if we could find a way to get all the way up to get Carter, the edge, but that ain't happening. Right, right. I would love, man, know what would kill me if Amos and Grant were both on the board at 30. There's no way Grant will be at 30. I would be shocked if it was. Oh my God, that would be so brutal. That would be brutal. All right, that'd be tough. I'm taking Grant. And then I'm trying to package my 2-2s to move up for Amos. Right. If he's not taking it before, but if they're, you'd have to really. If they're both at 30. Oh, like a back-to-back, almost like getting back-to-back picks there. Yeah, I'm doing whatever I can to package things to come up. That would be unbelievable, right? That would be unbelievable. That would make my draft. That would be perfect. I would be set. I'd be like, all right, you know what? Rest of the draft, whatever. You slide in Amos at CB2. You have Trey and Dane Jackson as your depth guys, and then you slant Grant right in at the starting one tech with Daquan as the backup. Now you're looking pretty. Yeah. Talk to Aramis, he says he's not totally sold on Grant. He thinks Grant's more of a 3 tech.
He's so wrong there.
I know. I told him, bro. I think he could do both 1 and 3. I never seen, bro. Grant is like well rounded. Like Harmon, yes, I agree with you guys on Harmon, 100%. But that doesn't mean Harmon can't.
Harmon has
get better. You know,
Harmon has the size to play 1.
Exactly. He has the size, but can he do it?
Here's the thing. I don't believe the Bills want a 1 tech. I believe the Bills want the size of a 1 tech with the play style of a 3 tech. They want someone who can eat blocks and put pressure on the quarterback.
Pressure.
I don't think, just like they no longer want a Mike and an outside linebacker, they want 2 outside backers that play, that can interchange. I don't think the Bills want a true 1 tech.
I agree. I think they want a well-rounded 1 and 3. They want a guy that create pressure with Ed, and be able also to take on 2 bodies.
Yep.
Like that's something they've been.
Grant.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Harmon. Harmon has the size to play 1, but he plays more like a 3.
Correct.
By
the way, real quick.
Go ahead. Because people love his teammate Mason Graham more. I think Mason Graham produced because of Grant.
It helps when you have a guy like that next to you. I mean, honestly, look at Ed Oliver, guys. I mean, listen, I like Ed Oliver. I do. I think he's a good, really good player. But Ed Oliver, if you ever seen when Ed Oliver flourishes, it's because the guy next to him is actually playing really good that game, or has had a good season. And when we first got Daquan was really good his first year, and Ed Oliver had a really good year that year. If you go back in time, even when Starr was here, his first that first go around, Ed Oliver had a good year. So, but when those players don't produce, when those players are out, and we have somebody else in, or they just come back, they're shell themselves. Ed Oliver is up and down. He's inconsistent. He needs that guy next to him to flourish, to be better. He's an undersized defensive tackle. So we need that next to him. We need that bigger body next to him. And I hope they see that. Go ahead, Mikey.
Let's take a look at the 2 Texas defensive tackles last year, Tavondre Sweat and the other guy. The other guy went in round 1. Tavondre Sweat went in round 2. Who had the better season? Sweat.
Yep. You're right.
The other guy looked fantastic playing next to that big monster.
Right.
That's why I would love to see Collins come in, because those guys are the unsung heroes. They don't look like they're gonna, that they do a whole lot, but man, they do all the dirty stuff. Right. That's what we want. Well, if Grant or Harmon is on the board by the Steelers pick, they grab it and Pitt takes Harmon over. It's gonna be wild to see where Shedeur falls, because there's a chance Shedeur falls to 21 where the Steelers are and the Steelers take him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, listen, speaking of the Steelers, did you hear the Aaron Rodgers interview with Pat McAfee?
No.
Did you at all? Okay. My God. I can't stand that guy. So he's kind of holding Pittsburgh at bay right now, right? If I'm Pittsburgh, bro, enough of this, right? Forget him. I think he's a cancer to the locker room. Forget him. But anyways, he was talking about the Jets, and they had him fly over there. And I guess Aaron Glenn, they went into the room or whatever, and they were talking. And Aaron Glenn got up, I guess he said, and said, it ran out of the room. That's what he said. He ran out of the room, and he came back with the GM. And he sat down, and he said, I guess he said to him, what did he say? Do you want to play quarterback still, or something like, or do you want to play for this? I forget what he said. Something like, do you want to be quarterback for this team or something? And then he said, I guess Aaron Rodgers says, yeah, I'd be interested. And the guy goes, well, we're going to move on in a different direction. So Aaron Rodgers was pissed. And I'll be honest with you. That was like a job interview to me. That was a test. That cocky ass answer he gave him. You know what he wanted? He wanted Aaron Rodgers to be like, bro, yeah, I want to be here. I want to be on the Jets. I think I could turn this thing around with, you know what I mean? He wanted more from Aaron Rodgers and says, yeah, I'm interested. You get what I mean? Like, that was a terrible response, because why ask the question, Mikey? Do you want to play quarterback still, or something like that? if you're going to go, well, we're moving a different direction. It makes no sense.
Well,
I think he was testing him to see the answer he gave, and the answer he got back was, yeah, okay, I guess, right? Like, terrible. Like right there, I think Aaron Glenn was like, he clearly has no motivation to be quarterback here. You know what I mean? Like, that's a shitty answer. So I think he let him go right there. Right with that answer.
Here's my take, and I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Yeah, go ahead.
By any means. Aaron Rodgers also gave the Jets $45 million back to help them. And then a new regime came in and just, Aaron Rodgers, listen, what did you expect Aaron Rodgers to do? He is who he is. He hasn't changed who he is. He's been the same guy for years.
Yeah,
that was going to be the answer.
Listen, you got to, but you're still contracted. You got a new head coach with a new GM, right? They're testing you. They want to see if you want to be a part of that team, right? That's how it is, right? This isn't like the old coach coming in saying, Robert Saleh going, hey, Aaron, you know what I mean? Like this is the new regime, right? Aaron, what do you think? Are you ready to play football? You want to do this? And if you give that answer to a new coach, new GM that are trying to build up the organization the right way, you know what I mean? A fresh start. That's a terrible answer.
You're expecting someone to change his spots. It's not going to happen.
I get that, but that's why. But you can't. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers can't be like, "Oh, that's fucked up." They had me fly on my own dime. They couldn't tell me over the phone. The reason why they didn't tell you over the phone is because I think they were testing you. And it's more professional in meeting, and I think it was all a test, bro, to see if this guy wants to be part of the team.
I'm with Aaron on this one. Sorry, Tommy. If you're gonna fly me out there just to cut me, fuck you.
But I don't think that was the thing. I don't think they were gonna do that. There's no way you asked that question to cut him.
That was a fucked up way to do it. But you know what? That just let everyone in the locker room know no one's safe. True. It's a new regime. It also could have been a message to the locker room.
Yeah, I know. Rodgers can't afford that airplane visit.
Right.
That expensive airplane ticket. Sorry.
I'm just with him on the fact that if you even thought you were going to cut me, then, why have you come out there?
He also tweeted out like a year ago, I'd rather do stuff in person than over the phones. So, just saying. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
You're not wrong, Triggs. He is who he is, but
I just think he's right now. He's
holding up. I don't think it was a test for him. I think it was a message to the Jets locker room.
It could have been. It's just an odd. Here's the deal, Mikey. Like I said, it was an odd thing to ask. Why would you ask that question? Just to go, well, we don't want you on the team. You give
because they're giving him the middle finger. That's what they're doing.
I guess. But a new coach, new GM. Why would they? It's not like I said. It's not like it's Robert Saleh and the old GM going. This guy,
But both these guys are first timers. Maybe they don't know any better. Listen, how does that sit with the NFL vets though? Like as much as the fans don't like Aaron Rodgers, the players do.
Some I've got some that don't.
Some of them do, and they may rub people the wrong way by how they treated the vets coming in there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll find out.
It's a gamble.
I just think I think like I said, man. If I'm a team, I'm not bringing him in. I think he's more headache than he brings a lot of stuff with him, and I don't think he's good to have around, especially a team that's because if you're bringing Aaron Rodgers in, Mikey, more than likely your team is rebuilding or they're looking. They got a young quarterback. They don't want to start year one. Like, do you really want Aaron? He brings. I don't like. It's not worth it, right? Get somebody else to back up or to start another veteran. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. To me, I think he should retire.
I would have cut him. I would have cut him. I wouldn't have even asked him to come in. I would have just released him and said, hey, we're starting fresh. I think Justin Fields fits better with that young trio.
Absolutely.
Anyways, and now Justin Fields is going to have a shot at actually starting because he's been treated kind of the same way Kair was. He had just horrible coaching in Chicago. And then he actually looked like he was doing well in Pittsburgh until they decided they wanted old man Russ to start.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see that. Josh likes everybody, Spin.
Yeah, I haven't heard. He liked Telvin Benjamin.
Josh likes everybody.
Like he doesn't say one bad word, and that's not true. You know damn well. But maybe they are friends. I don't know.
I think they actually are friends. But
most interesting man. Is he? Is he back? He's in here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Going to pop that most interesting man in the chat. Where is it? I got it. Hello, Tommy and Mikey. Happy Good Friday. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Easter's coming up. Good observation there. Thank you, Mr. Fulton.
Yeah. You want to talk about a quarterback that was hated by players, especially Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler was hated.
Oh,
Jeff George.
Yeah. Jeff George Jay
was
Cutler.
hated by players.
Yeah, Jeff George, one of the worst. Who else? Cutler. Who else would be on that list? That's actually great. So who else you think was hated, like quarterback wise? Right, like the teammates just couldn't stand. They jumped around. So we know the two for sure, Cutler and George. That's no.
There's
who
more.
else?
I just can't think of them.
Can't think of them off the.
Yeah, I can't think of them off the top.
Anybody in the chat? Any other quarterbacks that just rubbed the players the wrong way?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy G. Okay, I never knew that. Okay.
Oh my God! If you listen to what's going on with what's his name, the little slot receiver for New England forever. What's his name?
Edelman.
Edelman's podcasts, and you listen to what happened when he was in San Francisco, and you hear some like players do not like that guy.
This is a good one. Yes. Johnny Manziel. Because he came in there cocky. Yep, you're right. Yep. See, I knew there were. What about Deshaun? You think Deshaun? What do you think about Deshaun? You think he's liked or
Deshaun was liked by teammates? I'm not sure he is anymore. Right. He was for a long time though. Like he was loved in Houston by his teammates.
Yeah.
Kyle Murray was one of them. Like the teammates had problems with Kyle because he didn't study. But I think it was more the front office than his actual teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Edwards. Oh, sorry, that's just Tommy.
I hate it. So bad. He's so bad.
Oh God, there was some bad ones. All right, Tommy, what do we got on tap for tonight? I know we got.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a mock drafts tonight. Couple, maybe one or two, but and which is the final one. Real quick, guys. Tuesday at 9:00. It's going to be an AFC East shakedown kind of show. And by the way, Mikey, if you want to come on, please do. If you can't, you can. That's fine. But I'm going to have pretty much everyone from last year that was on the AFC East shakedown. Curtis, Captain D. They're going to tell us. By the way, their Dolphins are not looking too hot. Per usual. Like that team is just such a mess right now. So they'll be on to talk about that hot mess in Miami. You got Anthony coming in talking about his Jets and the rebuild. So it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. And Zach, who covers the Patriots, and it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. So got everybody coming on. No. Zach said he's like 90%. By the way, shout out to my guy Zach. He chose Syracuse as his college. Great school. Good for him.
That is
yeah, the Orangemen. So anyways, that's Tuesday at 9. You guys don't want to miss that. We'll be talking every all AFC East. But yeah, so tonight I have a couple things that we want to go through that I wanted to go through with you. I saw some articles I thought was pretty interesting. So the first one, Mikey, is the NFL's drafts 10 teams with most at stake. Who needs to ace their picks in 2025? And this article, by the way, is from USA Today. So pretty cool to see who they got listed. So let me pull that up real quick, and then we'll talk about the Bills and do we need to ace our draft? But let's get to this here first.
I'll answer that question for you right now. Yes. We need an ace draft.
Well, we'll get to that last. I agree with you, but we'll get to that last. We'll see what the chat says. So, first, number 1, New York Giants. For all the hyperbole that surrounds the draft every year, few teams typically enter the event with a true mandate. But in keeping Coach Brian Dable and General Manager Joe Shane for another year, co-owner John Mara made it explicit that he's just about run out of patience and expects the current brain trust to find a quarterback of the future. Mikey, what do you think?
What a comment by the owner who saddled those two with Daniel Jones. Wouldn't let them pick the quarterback that they wanted. Told them they had to give Daniel Jones the extension. Ran Barkley out of the building. And now he's like, oh, I'm done. No, my patience is up. Really?
Right. I've had enough of this.
Don't get me wrong. Joe Shane has done some weird shit.
He has, yeah.
But come on, man. It starts from the top.
I would definitely say, though, I agree with the article, though. This is it for them. Like, this is it for that experiment.
But there is no quarterback for them, really.
No, I get it.
We're at 3.
No, I understand, but you have to eventually. I'm just saying this year in general, they have to figure something out. Oh, you're right. Ryan Leaf was really. How did I forget about that?
That's a fantastic one.
Yeah, I forgot him screaming in the locker room. It's epic.
That is
such a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a good one. I totally forgot about Ryan Leaf. Anyways, yeah, I think the Giants. Listen, this is it for them. This is it. This is their last chance, I think, to get it right. Maybe not so much with the quarterback, because I think if they just get the draft right and can get through a season where it's not embarrassing.
They win.
Yeah,
and
if they win,
trending up, there's a good chance that they
right. Because then they can go with the excuse there was not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft next year. Look at the team, how it's building. All we need is this piece, and we can get this quarterback in this draft. Then maybe the owner goes, all right, I'm gonna give you more leeway. You know what I mean? I'll give you another chance, I'll give you another year, whatever. But this is it for them, I think.
They have to do something this year.
Yeah.
They have to show something. What is the percent chance we get a wide receiver in the first 3 picks? 1.
Very low. Very low.
1.
It's a good question.
Chance.
It's a good question, and I want to. But I hate it. Let me dial that back. I want
Captain
it 1.
D. What's up, brother?
What up, Captain? By the way, Captain D will be here Tuesday at 9:00, talking about his Dolphins and that hot mess Dolphins team. And boy, you'll have a lot to say. He's not a happy camper. Captain D is not a happy camper.
I can't wait to listen to him unleash.
Oh, dude, Curtis has already been in. By the way, Curtis is
hot.
He's
hot.
He's hot. He ain't happy right now, but I would say a lot of Dolphin fans aren't happy at the moment. What's going on in South Beach? But it is that. Listen, Mikey, that's what happens when your owner, your GM, and your head coach are not on the same wavelength. Like there's no connection. Right, the owner and GM and coach. I just feel like there's such a disconnection there and what they want. The owner, I mean, you're going back years now, right? The owner wanted Tom Brady, and he got in trouble for the right. Like he didn't want to, and then if I'm talking about going way back, right? So their old coach who didn't want to, and he wanted Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like it's been a hot mess over there, man. But we'll get more into that.
It goes back even farther than that to Nick Saban. When Saban wanted Breeze and they ended up signing Culpepper because the team doctors failed Breeze's physical.
I forgot about that.
So Saban walked out and said, I'm done.
Yeah. Not that we haven't had our share of. But you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Going back to the article where it says top 10 teams, let me ask you this. Who's a bigger mess, the Giants or the Jets?
That's a great question.
Oh, I shouldn't say who's a bigger mess. What team would you trust more to get it right, to turn it around?
Oh, man. So that's really tough. Honestly, I would say the Giants over the. I would say the Giants over the Jets, simply because the Jets the Giants I've seen get draft picks right and make playoffs, and they won Super Bowl. Like the Jets haven't won forever, right? Since what's his name? Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, more the AFC. I'm talking about Super Bowl in general. Like they haven't been back since forever, right? To a Super Bowl. So I don't know. I think I trust the Giants more, but they're both a hot mess. But I would say this about the Jets: they finally understood that they needed to do a restart. They got one of the honest name coaches out there that was available right after Ben Johnson, which was God, what's his name? I just drew a brain fart. What's the coach's name over in the Jets? I just said his name earlier. Anyways, they got a new coach, new GM, so we'll see what happens. I don't like their owner. I do not like the Jets. Yeah, Aaron Glenn. Yeah, I can't believe I just said his name earlier. Anyways, I like Aaron Glenn, but let's pump the brakes. We have no idea. And by the way, you have no idea what Ben Johnson either. Like these are their first time being head coaches,
or the GM.
Or the GM, that's what I'm saying. So you have no idea how it's going to go down. And I always say this: playing for a team in New York,
New Jersey,
brings New Jersey, but you know what I mean. Brings a lot of pressure, more pressure than any other, in my opinion, city, because of the media, the fans. Like it's brutal. And they will let you know it quickly. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't trust the Jets. So I think it's close, but I'll say the Giants over the Jets.
Okay. I just want to ask the question. I thought
it's close. Honestly, that's a good question.
When you were reading that, it was instantly like I was listening to that. I'm like, you could just replace the Giants with the Jets. You know? But the
absolutely.
Jets don't learn. That's the problem. They did the exact same thing with Brett Favre.
I know.
Just a few years ago. They just repeated history all over again.
I feel like it's a few years ago. It's actually a long time ago. But you're right. They repeated history. But you know what? They're not alone. They're not alone when it comes to desperate teams making desperate moves. I always say that. Cleveland, another team that's always doing that. Like doing a desperate move because they just can't get it right. So they're just trying anything. And it's just like, man, when will you learn? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy.
Spin, don't worry. They'll get another shot of love in a few years. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Let's get to the next, and then we'll go on with the rest of the chat in a minute. All right. So next up on this list is by the way, I didn't even read I'm not going to read the whole damn article, but next up, New Orleans Saints, the rebuild that by the way, Derek Carr seems like he's going to miss the season, right?
What a shit show that is. We were just talking about the Jets and the Giants. You could throw the Saints right into that. That's why Sean Payton walked out. He's like,
absolutely. Wow. Like, and Derek Carr, my God, how many that's a quarterback. He's going to constantly be floating around. He just stay away from that guy. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know the guy personally.
Dudes on the field last year yelling at him.
Anyways, a rebuild that the franchise has stubbornly resisted for years, which is true, might finally be imminent. How New Orleans embarks on the first steps of that process, however, could define the first round, both this year and next year. With Derek Carr's status for the 2025 season in jeopardy, reports of the veteran dealing with the shoulder injury, the Saints could actually be staring down a changing of the guard behind center in short order. But will a franchise that, excluding the supplement draft, hasn't selected a quarterback in the first two rounds since taking Archie Manning? Wow. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. In 1971, using number 9 overall. Wow. It says
anymore with this. I really don't.
That's crazy, bro. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I never knew that.
No, because then they landed Drew Brees, but they landed him in free agency.
Wow.
You know?
So look, they got Rattler, Henner. Hainer. Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Like, I didn't know, bro. I really didn't know that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Bro.
I don't think they take a quarterback this year either.
I know. I don't think
I think if they do, they'll take one
here.
in the second. I think that's where you might see, you know, that next like Jalen Milroe or Jackson Darr or whoever that next tier is goes.
Right. Yeah, I don't think this isn't a full draft class. Go ahead, man.
Yes, Ben. Absolutely. Saints need to fix their cap before they get their franchise quarterback. They need to stop trying to just, you know, put the Band-Aid over, take their medicine in a 2-year gap, and reset this whole freaking thing.
You have to.
But Mickey Loomis just keeps kicking the can down the road.
I agree.
And
you have
they
to.
just redid Carr's contract, which means he's locked to him again for another year or two.
Which, a dumb move. I have no idea why you would lock that. Like, listen, Derek Carr's not terrible quarterback or anything, but he's not going to win you a Super Bowl, right? He's not a franchise. He's not a quarterback I could trust. Yeah, he's not a quarterback I could trust, right, to take you to the next level. He's a quarterback I feel like he can, like you said, if you have an elite defense, maybe get you into the playoffs. You know, you never know what kind of happens. You get lucky, but one, he can't stay healthy. Two, he's up and down, man. He's up and down as a quarterback. You'll have games where he's really good, and then you'll have games where he just doesn't show up. I mean, and there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that do that.
Yeah. Archie Manning is a prime example of a great quarterback who was absolutely wasted by a franchise. You know who else was? Phillip Rivers. You know who's on the Phillip Rivers trajectory? Josh Allen.
I thought you were going to say their quarterback too. What's his name? I thought you were going to their quarterback they got now, but that him too, Herbert.
Phillip Rivers, yeah. Phillip Rivers went to multiple AFC championship games and just, couldn't quite get over the hump. Like the Bills are just.
I agree.
Like Josh shows up to these games and something else, whether it's the coach with 13 seconds or the defense can't get a stop or whatever the case may be. Very rarely do we get exited from the playoffs because of Josh. I can think of one game where Josh didn't show up, and that was the Bengals game.
Right. I would say 2019 was a little rough, but that I give him a pass on that first year. Really,
he had a 20-point lead going into halftime, and his defense crumbled in the second half.
But offense also took a big halt, in that second half too. So
we were the number one ranked defense.
You're right. No, I
should have been enough.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, if they're gonna say which games he underperformed. The only reason I say 2019 is because he didn't listen. 2019, he still wasn't really the Josh. He still wasn't really correct. He still was throwing in that low under 60%. It was like 58 completion percentage. Yeah, it was. So he still was sloppy with the ball, trying to do like backyard football, like really bad backyard football moves. So he was learning still, and so I kind of give him a pass there. It is what it is, on the road, playoffs, big atmosphere. But I would say the Bengals game, right? That was a rough game for him.
Yeah.
I thought the Chiefs championship game was a little rough too. The first one. Yeah, it was a little rough.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but it was a little
rough. He was pretty bad in the I mean, the whole team was bad in the Bengals game. At least you saw fight in him in the Chiefs game. You didn't. They just looked defeated walking onto the field in that Bengals game.
It was crazy, right? Like
they were flat and they just got mopped up.
Dude, I just, like, that was one game I will say I did not think we were going to lose that game, because the reason I say that is because the bank. At home, right? At home, Bengals offensive line was like guys off the practice squad and guys they just picked up from guys off the waivers. And I thought for sure with the momentum, because remember that was the whole DeMar thing, like the momentum we were kind of building, or at home, and if we win this game, we could play on a neutral side. Like everything was it seemed like everything was going right, and boy, it all went wrong like that really quick.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go like 2006. Yeah. 14-2, the number one seed. Yeah. They were stacked that year. But yeah, okay, let's keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. So next up, Cleveland making their first pick in 3 years. Oh my God. Desperate teams make desperate decisions. Situation trade. So imagine first pick in 3 years.
The money, but the picks. Oh my God. Ouch.
Like that's brutal, right? For a guy that did absolutely nothing for you. I mean, nothing.
And robbed
you. Oh my God. Cleveland enters the draft in a state of crisis. Owner Jimmy Haslam essentially admitted defeat. He did, by the way, defeat on the move for the former star signal caller, calling it a big swing and miss. And by the way, like Watson, like if I'm Watson now, I'm going, fuck it. Just like, why? I don't want to be not that Watson's any good, but I definitely don't want to play football anymore. Like, that's it. You're a millionaire, bro. Go ride off in the sunset. You know what I mean?
He's
like,
not gonna ride off because it's
he's not
guaranteed. He shows up, he gets that paycheck.
Correct. I wonder what they do. But they did sign Joe Flacco, right? So once again, I like Flacco, but this is a desperate move. This is can we get the Flacco that showed up late in the season, comeback player of the year Flacco? No, because I saw Flacco last year and he was not that Flacco. But whatever. Flacco got paid as a backup. Look, man, so let's talk Cleveland. So does Cleveland need to ace this draft, Mikey?
Here's the thing, yes, but here's the thing: they don't need to ace it getting a quarterback. They need to go out and get a teammate. So they're probably going to take Hunter. I think that's the wrong move. I think they should take Carter. I think Carter's the right move. Now you're pairing Carter and Garrett together.
Okay.
You know, and
Makes
then
sense.
Garrett's big contract ends as Carter's ready to get paid.
Yeah. Where are they picking, by the way, Mikey? Let me see if it says
number 2.
They got the second pick. Oh,
second
God. You know what's brutal about this draft? Of all the times you're going to get like a top 3 selection, and there's just not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. You know Cam Ward's going 1 to Tennessee. I'm almost 100% sure. If they don't, boy, Cleveland better jump all over that and get Cam Ward. But I just don't. I think it would be a huge mistake if Tennessee didn't draft Cam Ward or traded down or whatever. But
if they traded down, I can see them trading down to the Giants, seeing Giants go up to Cam Ward, and then taking either Carter or Hunter.
You never know, and maybe they feel like, hey, listen, it is what it is. Maybe Tennessee's like, hey, we don't feel like Cam Ward's going to be that guy. We'll wait another year, give us more draft capital, and maybe that happens. But I just think that would be a mistake for Tennessee, who's been looking for a quarterback.
Yeah, the Giants are also needing to go up and get that quarterback. They might be able to get a good haul from the Giants, who they're trying to save their jobs, versus Tennessee, who's only in year 2 of this rebuild. Take it, move back to get one of the elite players. Yeah, you're getting one of the 2 best players that way, in either Hunter or Carter, and then maybe take a quarterback in the second round. Or if you don't like any of the quarterbacks, wait till next year.
So here's my thoughts on that. As a fan, I was saying, if I'm a Titans fan, here's the problem with it. Not even a problem, but here's where I'm thinking. Let's say you do that, and let's say Cam Ward goes on to be a really good quarterback, and I'm going to dial it back and go to 2017 and Patrick Mahomes. Bills traded back, got Trey White. Now 2018 came, and the Bills did what? They drafted Josh Allen. But let's say that didn't happen. Let's say, God forbid, we drafted the other Josh.
Rosen?
Right, that a lot of Bills fans wanted, right? Boy, right? The fan base would be pissed. Nobody talks really about that 2017 trade back because we got Josh Allen. It worked out. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Tennessee does that and then they draft a quarterback and it doesn't work out in the next year, it's going to be pissed off fans. I'm just saying, like that you passed up on a guy.
Is talked about constantly.
I get it. I'm just saying it's a fan base.
Yeah, I'm saying. But the media talks about us trading back and giving Kansas City Patrick Mahomes rather than us taking it.
Sure. They talk, of course, because it is still Patrick Mahomes. I get
it.
But
we can't beat them in the playoffs.
I understand that, but that's not so solely because of Patrick Mahomes. He's a big part of it. But there's a lot more to it. You know what I'm saying?
The head coach, the defensive coordinator, Chris Jones, who's a freaking game wrecker on their side.
Correct. I guess my point was if we fucked up and drafted somebody else, or we're still looking for a quarterback, is my point.
Oh God, yeah. McDermott Beane would have been gone. We'd be where the Jets are at, constantly recycling coaches.
Absolutely.
Them hitting on Josh and Josh putting in the work and them staying committed to Josh.
Yeah.
As he worked through and got better and better and better is why the Bills are where they are. But that's any of these teams. If you just hit on that quarterback and you stick with it and he turns out to be really good, that's what happens.
Yeah, I agree. Captain D coming in, Patriots will be better. I agree. I still think they're a little bit in that rebuild, right? And they got a fresh coach who's going to obviously change things around compared to what they had last year. So it might be a difference. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like it's going to be, it's not an overnight thing. No matter what, a rebuild takes a couple years, but I feel like the Patriots are doing it right. And once again, that kind of starts from ownership.
And I don't like.
I don't like it. I don't like it either.
I didn't like that they hired Vrabel because that was the right move. I don't like that they drafted Drake May because I liked him and I thought he was going to be good. I did not want that guy there. I don't like some of the moves they made. They had to overpay some guys, but they got the money right now to overpay, so that's fine. Yeah,
doesn't matter. Right.
I don't think they're going to win the division, but I think they're going to battle between second and third. I don't think they're going to end up in the basement of this division.
In the dumpster? No. I don't see that happening either. That last year they gave a lot of teams fights. Good teams, right? They were in a lot of games with a terrible coach. Let's be real. Players giving up on their coach, and they still were in games. So they're going to get better. They're doing it the right way. They're building through the draft. They got their quarterback. It seems like they got their quarterback. Now we'll see what happens in year 2 because that, will tell a lot about a quarterback's growth. But year 1 looked good. Year 1 looked very promising for May. So we'll see what happens with them.
I don't know if I can co-sign this, Robert. And here's the reason why. I've watched Vrabel below it at the end of games too in the playoffs.
Yeah, Vrabel, let's be real. Vrabel, has he been to a Super Bowl as a head coach? No. So to me, I feel like they're on the I'll say they're on the same right now.
They had the one seed and crumbled in the playoffs.
Right. Like I don't see I haven't seen that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if would I take Vrabel over McDermott? Yes. That's just a personal thing though. But I think they're close as far as what they've accomplished. Matter of fact, McDermott's probably honestly accomplished more as a coach. He probably
I would love to see Vrabel with Josh Allen and see what they could do together.
Sure.
But I'm not sure Vrabel's management style fits what Josh likes to do either. Vrabel has a very different type of management style. Like people clash with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, though, I think they're evenly as a coach. I don't, I like him. I think he's a perfect fit for New England, former player. He's going to, the players, he's going to get that respect as well from the players. I don't think they ever respected Mayo, even though Mayo was a former player too. I don't think players respected him. And he was a fresh coach that whole thing was a little shaky to begin with. It was on his contract. It wasn't even, that was all in the works. You knew he wasn't going to last past year 1. That was all in the works. It was all planned out, and that's why he lasted 1 year. So, and that's why Vrabel waited. Let's be real. It was obvious.
I don't understand this comment. Beane trades with anyone, doesn't care. Pats take our first, we get 3 seconds. I don't get that. Oh, they take our first, we get 3 seconds. So we trade down with the Pats. I don't. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem trading down with the Pats.
Yeah.
If we trade down, we need to trade to that top of the draft area, whether it's the Browns, the Giants, the Pats. I want to stay in that top 2 or 3 picks, of the draft when it turns the next day. I don't want to be, 39-40.
So Sal, I'll be honest with you, since he traded with the Chiefs, saying that comment, yeah, I guess we could agree. I mean, he seems to be, it doesn't matter, right? I hope he doesn't do that again, right? With a team that you were desperately trying to figure out and defeat, right? Because really, truthfully, that has been the one thing that's been in the way of a Super Bowl. Let's be real. The Chiefs are the team. I would not do business with them at all, just on that front alone, right? Like, no, I'm good. I'm not trying to help you. But yeah, maybe he learned his lesson there, but maybe Beane's just, he's going to do what he wants to do. I mean, he doesn't care.
I don't think he was saying they're going to give us three seconds for. I think he said we're going to trade down. We'll
have 3 seconds. Right, because we have 2 already. We'll get another additional. Yeah. Correct.
We're third in the second round, and then we probably pick up a third rounder.
Correct. You know. All right, let's get this before we were.
That's 4 day 2 picks.
Yeah, I'm good with. I don't listen. That's one thing I don't want to compile picks again. Mikey. I do not want that. Like, it's so, dude. Just please, like, don't compile picks this year. Don't
go up and get Grant. Make Tommy happy.
I don't want 15 draft picks next year. You know what I mean? Like, we can't keep them all. A lot of these guys don't even make our roster. It's such a waste. Like, I listen, Mikey, I get it if you're using it for trade bait, right? Okay, fine. You got 3 5th rounds, 4 6. What? Fine. Take that for the next year. I get it, and move up. Like, but we don't do that. Yeah, we don't. We wind up drafting 3 6 rounds.
And then they just get picked off by the other teams.
And they just get picked off. Yeah. You know what it is too, I think, because Brandon Beane has done well late in the rounds. Maybe he just feels like, well, I got 10 of them. If one works out, right, like a Christian Bedford again, it's worth it. Right? Like,
it's
maybe
it's blindfolded, having 10 darts and thrown at him. One of them might hit.
Right. Since I don't want to keep going through that.
He has hit a bunch of late rounders. We have Benford, Shakir, go down the list. Say what you want about Hamlin. Hamlin was a late round pick, and he started for us.
Yeah. I just feel like now is a time where we need a impactful player, not a project, right? Not a guy that, hey, he has upside, but it's going to take a couple years. Or, hey, we like this guy, but we're going to mold him into a linebacker. He's a safety. We dude, we need an impactful player now. We need an impactful player, and we need it on the defensive line, and we need it at corner next to Benford. Like, those are 2 positions we desperately need an impactful player. It's time. Like, the time is now. You can't keep fucking around with all these draft picks. And I like Carter, but he's not an impactful player. He's a rotational guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want another Carter.
Here's the problem.
Go ahead.
There's not very many impactful players in this draft. There's a lot of solid starters. There's only a handful of game wreckers.
I think Grant is an impactful player. I think he definitely can be. Okay.
But I think he's going to also go in the top 20.
True, but that's my point about trading up. Go ahead and do it. The time is, stop always worrying about the future outlook of the team, the future outlook. Bro, there's going to have to come a time, Mikey, where the time is now. I'm not saying like we're desperate. We have to do these desperate moves, but in my opinion, stop with that whole worrying about like the future. Like, dude, like the time is now. We're a good team. Get an impactful player. Make some moves that make sense. And let's go get a Super Bowl. That's it. Like, stop playing around like that. I get it. The way he's built.
And you're going to say, you know what, though? And you've said this for 3 years now, Tommy. You've said the exact same thing for 3 years. And you said at the end of Josh Allen's career, we're going to look back and we're going to be like, damn.
Yeah.
He may think, I wish I would have pulled the trigger.
Yes. That is, I think that will be, and I have said this to you.
That, dude.
That is my, I think that it would be, if I'm Brandon Beane, I'm just like putting me in his shoes, and if things don't work out, right? Josh, we don't get a Super Bowl. We don't make it to one. We don't get one. He would definitely 100% look back and go, What if I traded up and got the? What if I went ahead and signed that player?
Didn't go wide right.
No, I get that. But wide right is different than having the opportunity to trade up. Wide right is that's just a player missing. You know what I mean? A decision making. I'm talking about pulling the trigger on a trade.
What if we squib kicked instead of putting it through the end of the end zone in 13 seconds?
Well, exactly. Now that's on McDermott. Right?
I'm just saying, there's a lot of what ifs with this Buffalo Bills team and this leadership. So
no, I get that. I'm talking about though as a GM and the decisions you make, because the GM has nothing to listen. The GM, all he does is salaries and drafting, right, and free agents. He has nothing to do with what happens on the field. That's Sean McDermott and that's the players. I'm talking about as a GM, when this is all said and done, of course, if we do not get a Super Bowl, he will look back and say, man, should I have been more aggressive in this draft? Right? Because I'll be honest with you, in 2018, he could have been like he is now and go, you know what? I'm going to stay put, or I'm not going to, maybe we can get a quarterback later on. Like, you never know. Or maybe I don't like Josh. Maybe I don't like anybody in this draft. We'll wait till next. Like, he could have done that. And it wouldn't be the first time a GM's done that.
Because he said you were drafting a quarterback this year.
No, but I get it. But he couldn't draft a quarterback. There was late round quarterbacks that went for. I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you, when he got the job, he was told that they weren't taking a quarterback in 17 because of it.
Okay, but he also traded back up, Mikey, to get Tremaine Edmonds. He didn't have to do that. No. He was super aggressive in 2018.
He does trade up. He just doesn't hit on the players that they've traded up for.
But that was an aggressive.
Failed. Traded up for Kincaid. He hasn't hit.
Those weren't super aggressive trades, though. Those were a couple. But
neither was the Edmonds one. The
Edmonds, nobody saw that coming.
Spots. We went 5 spots for Edmonds.
No, I don't think we had a first round pick. I could be wrong.
Yes, we had 2. We had 22.
I thought we traded it away for the Allen. We moved up multiple spots.
We moved up. We traded away Cordy Glenn. Because
I thought we got rid of it.
I
thought we did.
Kansas City's first rounder that year.
You're
when we
right,
moved up for Allen from
12
to 7, we gave up our 2 second rounders.
Okay. See, I don't know why. But either way, we did trade. My point is, he was aggressive in that draft. He was definitely aggressive. He made aggressive moves to get.
He just hasn't hit.
Not really. He could have. Listen, he has to be aggressive at some point again. That's all I'm saying. He hasn't been that aggressive. He has not moved from the 30th spot to the 20th spot. He's moved up from 28 to 26. That's not
Josh Allen. He hasn't been aggressive at all then, because he hasn't moved that high. Even with Edmonds, he moved up 5 spots.
So when I'm saying aggressive, I'm talking about in draft and free agency. So that's not totally true. He was aggressive with Stephon Diggs trade. He was aggressive with signing Von Miller.
I was just talking about draft.
No, I know, but I'm saying I'm talking about general.
To get the impact player in the draft. Outside of Josh, he hasn't done that.
Exactly. That's what I want him. Like, look. My point is this: we got a draft coming up now. We know that there's only when we're talking about impactful players. There's a few that's in mind. We said them already.
They're all top.
If 10. If there's an opportunity, well, not necessarily. The grants project anywhere from 15 to 20. Right? He could slide in that. I'm just saying, if I'm Brandon Beane, I said it earlier in the podcast, you're watching that draft and you got a player like Grant. Let's just say throw Grant's name back out there, and he slips past 15. Let's say, right? I am for sure, if I am Brandon Beane, calling up and making a move, 100%. Why not? You can't keep hoarding your picks. You got 2 second-round picks. You're good at. You got a multiple draft picks in later rounds. You could definitely swindle back up and get a 3rd round. You could you know what I mean? You have 2 2s already. Doesn't matter. Like, I think I'm just saying, when you have that ammunition that he has with all the draft picks, it's time to get a little aggressive. That's all my point is. And if there's a guy there that is worth it, why not? No Bills Mafia would be upset at Brandon Beane for trading a 2nd round and 1st round if he went up into the 7th, let's say 16, 17 spot and got Grant. Nobody would be upset about that. Not one person.
We would have been last year if he would have traded up and grabbed Brian Thomas Jr., which that would have made more sense than this year.
Exactly. That's a great point, Mikey. That is a great point, which a lot of people wanted. BTJ. He probably could have. They're probably
including us.
Right, including us. But he didn't want to. He said it from the beginning. Didn't have. I think they already had their guy. Keon Coleman was set. No other receiver on the board. They weren't taking anybody else. So I need that. I just hope Brandon Beane eventually changes that part of him and gets a little aggressive. That's all I want.
I get it, but you're also asking, just like you wanted Aaron Rodgers to answer a question like, he was wanted to be there. People are who they are. They don't change. I
understand, but I have seen Beane
I hope
stuff that
wrong.
We didn't think he would
and
do.
I hope this is the year that he goes up and grabs the Grant. Or he finds a way to get really high and grabs an impact player.
Absolutely.
We need a game wrecker on the defense side. You want to know the difference between the Chiefs and the Bills, really, outside of Andy Reid? They have game wrecker on the defensive side. Chris Jones steps up when they need him most, or Steve Spagnuolo, designs a play to where everything's looking at Chris Jones and someone else sneaks in.
Right.
They have guys who step up. Josh Allen made the throw last year. Kincaid dropped it. Josh Allen made the throw the year before. Diggs dropped it.
Yep. I agree.
Their guys step up. Our guys don't.
I agree. And maybe that's because we have a lot of good players, not great players. Let's be real here. Let's be real as can get with this team, Mikey, real quick before we go on to the rest of this article. The Buffalo Bills are a good team. We have good players. We don't have a lot of great players. Let's be real here for a second. We have Josh Allen, great, awesome, MVP, right? Well-deserved. Outside of that, and by the way, this is no dig at anybody. I love Khalil Shakir. I love James Cook. Well, I don't take that back. I like James Cook. I love Groot, right? And Oliver, but none of these guys are great. They're good players. But bro, we don't have that. If we didn't have Josh Allen, this team would be a 5-win team, maybe 6. We just don't. We don't have, like you said, we don't have an impactful player on defense. We have very good players. Christian Benford, very good. Maybe one day he'll be that great corner, but he's a really good corner. He's not great. He's not talked about being the great corner out of Buffalo. I'm just throwing that out there. We need another impactful player. And I think we need another one on offense, and we need another one on defense.
It's got to be on the D line. We need an impactful player on the D line.
No, I agree. I'm with you. And really, honestly, on edge. And I'm hoping eventually they figure that out. Joey Bosa
as one. I don't care if it's.
You're right. D line. You're right.
If it's a D tackle or an edge, we need somebody. Right. And I'm hoping it's Bosa that steps up and becomes that impact guy, or takes that next step to be the impact guy. But we need somebody to be that guy. I think agree. Cato right here is right on. I mean, I think the plan was when we traded Diggs was to get the Vikings early second-round pick so we can package the two to move up to get an impact player, and it backfired because the Vikings had a good year.
Right.
I really do believe that's what they thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll take pick 30, 56, 109, 177 to pick to top 50 picks. Yeah. It's wild. I just don't see him putting together 4 or 5 picks like that to move up. I just don't.
Yeah, but you and I'm going to throw this out there. You never know when it comes to also players. There's a guy like that we can get. Things can get involved. Also, multi-trades, team deals. If you remember the trade for Josh Allen, it wasn't a one trade. We had to move up multiple times to get to that spot. I think it was with 2 teams, right? So I'm just saying it can happen that way too. It doesn't all necessarily mean we have to give up all this draft capital. We will have to give up some, obviously. But guys, once again, hoarding draft picks hasn't really gone great for us either. Like, we've had some good players come out, no doubt. But we also
solid.
Yeah, solid. But we've also had a lot of picks that went wasted because they just weren't good. They were wasted. Like, come on, Luke Tenuta, was it really worth it? Like, for that draft pick, you know what I mean? Like, that's just one name. There's a ton out there. Justin Short, there's a ton. There's no reason to have that many picks and not. There's not. You don't have enough room on your roster. And once again, we're not coming off a Super Bowl year. We're not a Super Bowl team where we don't need to trade up or make an impactful trade to make something big happen to get to better the team. We really need that. It's here. We're right there, Mikey. But if we don't make that move, we're just going to always be right there. I just don't. You get what I'm saying?
I think it's going to break your heart because I don't think he's built that way. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you to a point, but I also feel like he has pulled some stuff out of his hat where it has surprised us.
I pray that's this year. Anyway, we got to move on because we're already been on here for an hour and 24.
Damn.
We haven't finished this one article, and we still have to do.
Yeah, I know, and I still got the other one, which will be quick, by the way. All right, so I won't read it all. So San Francisco 49ers. I agree with San Francisco.
They have 11 picks. They have 11 picks for the 49ers.
Yes,
I think they need to use those 11 picks to start rebuilding the core of their team.
That's a lot.
Because they're about to pay Purdy. And that means a lot of money is going to be shed from that, and they're going to have to replace it with cheap labor, as Beane likes to call it.
Yep, and then of course they got the prop. Honestly, man, like I like McCaffrey, but once again, this is why I don't really like paying running backs. Guys, it's like, and what is he in? What year right now? Like the more running backs go on in their career, the more injuries are playing a part of their career, and they slow down, and like, man. That contract, like, I don't know, man. But 11 picks is a lot. So you're right. Mm-hmm. Next up.
Before we go to the next up, Spencer, every team picks the Tenutas. The thing is, you don't know which picks the Tenuta. You don't know if you're going to get Tenuta, if you're going to get Wyatt Teller. That's the problem. That's why you want to take those shots, because you don't know what you're getting. Because Wyatt Teller was just a shot in the dark that ended up hitting. The problem is we just had a bad O-line coach at the time who talked to our GM into trading him.
I get that, but that doesn't mean you hoard. You don't have to have 15. You don't have to have 12 picks every year, and we're just gonna because we want to just get all these players.
It had nothing to do with that. I was talking about something in the chat.
I know.
Your piece was
okay. No, I'm just saying. I get where Spin's coming from. Every team, I understand that. Like for every team, there's a Wyatt Teller out there. I understand that, but once again, if you want a impactful player, a guy that's in the first round, early top 15, you got to make some change. You got to make some maneuvers. You can't, bro, the gamble of finding a guy like late round, right? They're not all, it doesn't happen a lot, dude. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. So
Rick,
I don't know.
I don't disagree with you, Tommy, on that. I don't think Edwards is on the trade block at all. Edwards is a Cromer guy. Like, Edwards was with him in LA with the Rams. I don't think Edwards is going anywhere. And I don't think they're going to mess with their starting five. This will be the first year that Deion Dawkins has started next to the same guy from the previous year in his career. Yeah, they're not getting rid of that. Not now. Though I feel like they need to prepare, and I would love for them to draft a guard to even compete with him in camp. But I think Edwards was still, just to prepare for that, just like the RSVP, when McGovern winds up leaving, that's the ultimate plan. But I don't think they get rid of Edwards. It would be a mistake, in my opinion, because now once again you're leaving Deion Dawkins with another guy another year with a new guy next to him. And you can't have that. You got to have these players on the same page. That's what makes a good offensive line, right? You got the same guys coming back year after year. That's where the best offensive lines, they show up because they have the same guys year after year doing a thing. And I get that, Spin. I understand that, but that's my point. But when have they? But they have had the picks and they haven't moved up. That's what's
right.
Yeah, they've taken a bunch of extra guys who've gone to the practice squad and been picked off the practice squad and are playing for other teams around the league.
Right. Like I said, last year, how many times we traded down? It seemed like every round we were trading down.
It was also that way when the year that we traded down twice before we picked James Cook in the second.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So, we can go. Listen, Sal, I get it. There's nobody this year. My favorite receiver this year is Higgins. Jaden Higgins. I like his all-around game. He's my favorite receiver this year. But I think he goes high round 2, and I don't think we have a shot at him.
I'm not crazy about the receiving class, though. I like Thornton as a late.
Yeah, you love those
3.
big, fast guys that may hit, may not hit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I do. Now, see about that.
Know what it is?
I'm cool with.
They missed on DK, and you've been trying to find the DK replacement.
Well, yeah, but see the difference, though. I will say this with DK and these other guys that we're talking about. DK was slated as a first round, second round, right? And the only reason he went to second round is because all the reports coming out, he can't. He's can't bad route runner, whatever, and he dropped because of that. But Seattle's like, thank you very much, right? The other guys that I'm talking about are guys, who cares? They're day 3. Right. Okay. You take a flyer on a guy that's 6'4", runs a 4.3. Right. That's why I like Thornton. Will he be any good? Who knows? Probably, maybe not. But what if he is? What if he develops? What if he works at his craft and he winds up being a really good receiver? You never know. Listen, Puka Nacua. I didn't even know who the hell that guy was coming out of college. No offense. I didn't know who he was. And look, man, that guy's really freaking good.
It also has to do with offensive scheme. And someone said it earlier, our defensive scheme on the defensive line is part of the challenges we have. Like, it's not a good scheme. It's rush 4. They play no games up front whatsoever. So, anyways, let's get back to your article. Sorry.
That's okay. Tennessee Titans, it says probably goes without saying, the team's holding the number 1 pick, and they'll likely select Cam Ward. They have, and I think Cam Ward will work out. I really like him. I think he's going to be really good. But yeah, I agree. Like, you have to get this. Hopefully he works out, because Tennessee's been looking for a quarterback for a while.
If I was Tennessee, I would try to trade back with the Giants and get a haul.
Wow.
I'm not sure I'm taking him. I would wait, because I don't think they're going to be good next year, even if they have Ward. And the class next year is supposed to be better than the class this year.
It is, but how? I agree with that.
And
but
if you trade back and you get a haul, you can use some of those picks next year to move up.
I guess it just goes by
a Hunter or a Carter as your consolation prize.
I get it, but once again, it goes by: is it the chance you're willing to take? You know what I mean? Is it the roll of the dice? Because like I said, I brung up the Bills and the Chiefs, because it could have went sideways. We could have drafted Rosen. You know what I mean? And oh my God, right? Like, what a mistake, right? Why didn't we take Patrick Mahomes? You know what I mean? Like, we would have been looking back at that.
I would have been pissed. Why didn't we take Lamar Jackson? Because I either wanted
or whatever. Yeah,
Jackson,
you know what I mean.
Either one.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. We could have drafted a back, but Jackson was slated late. Like Rosen was in that top 10-ish.
I never understood why.
I don't either.
Why.
I never liked him coming. I am shocked that Bills fans wanted him.
I watched him play, and he wasn't great in college.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it either. Pro ready. Like pro ready.
I am so out of here to hear about pro ready guys.
I hate that.
I want monsters. That's what I want.
Yeah. Pro ready. Here comes a 30-year-old quarterback coming to college he started late bloomer. Pro ready.
We did get aggressive. We went up and got a tight end when we already had one who was on the ascent. So and I'll be honest, at this time right now, that move is in question. Oh, you don't think Dolak gets drafted? I think he gets a late round pick. I think Dolak will be selected late. All right, let's move on.
All right, Cincinnati Bengals. You agree with that?
Defense. They better go defense. Either they better go offensive line or they go defense.
What do you think they would do with Trey? You think they deal him, or do you think they wind up keeping him and just getting working that out?
I think if they deal him, it's going to be after the draft. I would what I would actually love to see? I'd love to see the Bills find a way to make the deal on draft day.
Dude, wouldn't that be? Now that's aggressive.
And we land Trey. So then we have Bosa, Groot, and Trey as a 3-man rotation.
Now we're talking, baby. Now that's aggressive.
Would that make you happy?
Of course. That's an aggressive type of move on draft night. Are you?
I can see them moving him on draft night. If they don't move him on draft night, they're going to keep him.
Yeah. Do. We got a report. We have a trade. The Buffalo Bills. Oh my God, we'll be freaking out.
Listen, in round one, they go either D tackle or corner, right? We're like, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we moving up? And then you're gonna get to a point to where the Bills are on like at 56, and they're gonna come in and say the Bills dealt 56 and one of their late picks, for Trey.
Dude, it would. I think Bills Mafia would have all of us would.
Bailey Zappi was pro ready. That's great.
Zappi.
We need to draft an O tackle in round one. No, but we do need to start thinking about who's going to be the replacement for Dawkins. He is getting up there in age.
It's a great point.
I think he has probably 2 or 3 more elite years left, and then it's time to
start thinking about it. Yeah, I'm with you. Though I will say this about Dion, though. He's relatively been healthy.
Yeah.
And look at Jason Peters. I'm not comparing the two, but some offensive linemen, they stick around, boy,
for a long time. I mean, I think he'll be really good into his mid 30s. I think he's going to be be what he is for another year or two, and then you'll start to see slow declines, as a lot of those good offensive linemen do.
I would say it's all about his health. If he could stay healthy, I think he can. He
what
can
he
stick
does
around
in the offseason, how he treats his body.
I'm with you there. I'm with you 100%. So, but I agree.
Once they get that injury late, it's tough for them to come back.
It's real tough, especially those big guys like that, leg injuries. Like, it's brutal. But knock on wood, he's been good. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, who's our next one? We talked about the Bengals.
Next one. Yep, next one is Seattle Seahawks. All right. So,
Jesus, the Seahawks, man, you don't know what to do with those guys. They're all over the place. Like, they can go quarterback because they brought in Sam for a 3-year deal, but it's really a 1-year deal. They trade away the receivers. They can go receiver in round one. Maybe they take Mbuka and match him with JSN because they were teammates in college. They can go offensive line. They can go defense. Like, they have so many things, so many different ways they can go. They're a wild card in round one.
They are, yeah. And Seattle's been trying to get it right since the whole, really for a while.
I thought, since Pete Carroll,
and Gino
since the
left
rough and all that. Yeah, I think they have the right guy in place. I like their head coach. I think they just need to figure out what their building strategy is going to be. Like, I didn't mind the Sam contract because it's not prohibitive to do anything, but their running game was beat up because Walker couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Sam's good for now, but he's going to be a journeyman. He's going to be a Derek Carr, right? A Jimmy G. He's going to float around.
He'll be good enough to be the bridge guy until your rookie's ready to go.
He'll be a 2-year guy. You know what I mean? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to. The thing is, if you're a team, don't get fooled by one good season with these guys. And I feel like a lot of teams, they fall into that trap where they get fooled by a season and they wind up signing these guys to extensions or ignoring the fact that they still need to go out there and get a quarterback, right? And they stick with these guys because they had the one good. And then they're right back, and then the quarterback comes down to planet Earth, and he's the quarterback we all knew he'd be, right?
And like, that's where I think they got smart, and that's why I think they got smart, and they signed him to a bigger deal that made it look pretty, but it's only a 1-year deal. And I love this comment by Robert. They'll never let Dion go because he tells the world about Josh's marriage plans. He is an open book, man. Dion tells all. If you don't want something to get out, don't tell Dion. He's gonna just say it.
You know, it's funny. I was watching. I don't know if you saw. Did you watch a UFC pay-per-view or no? You don't watch UFC. The last one.
No, I didn't see the last one. I do watch. I do watch it. I didn't see the last one.
He was there. So, yeah, and it's cool because the announcer's like, Dion Dawkins in the building, Buffalo. I'm like, yeah, Dion.
See, Sam is a backup quarterback I wouldn't mind having, but I think he's going to be one of those, one of those high-priced backups. I don't think he'll ever be a cheap backup to come back up Josh, unless he just wants to hang out with his buddy.
And I don't see Beane ever. Beane is super cheap on backups. He's not.
Well, Josh always plays, hurt or not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no I'm just saying there's no reason. Yeah. And that's why I'm a little surprised that he hasn't gone through the draft. Because you're talking about getting a cheap a rookie.
He failed horribly on Jake Fromm.
I know, but you can't just go, damn, I did terrible. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, I could have told you that, Brandon Beane.
I told you Jake Fromm wasn't going to be good when I watched him in college.
Right. Like, he was Beane.
Decent college player. You knew he wasn't going to be in. Like, his processor was slow.
Dude, I saw nothing about Fromm that I was like, hey, that's smart. Smart.
Fitzpatrick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Darnold's good enough to be your bridge. He's not.
I don't know if he's a new Fitzpatrick, though. I compare only one other player to a I would say Winston is Fitzpatrick.
See, and I think Darnold's very much.
No, I'm not saying better. I'm saying style, player.
Fitzpatrick versus the Fitztragic, the Magic versus the Tragic.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if you're comparing, there's only
styles. Jameis will throw 50 touchdowns and 50 interceptions. He'll do both. He doesn't care.
Right. He'll have a 600 passing yard game and 5 interceptions, and next week 150 yards, 4 interceptions. I mean, he's wild. Oh,
every time I see that name, I think of Rico, the way he says it.
And I can't even hate. He's not a bad person. Like, I want to hate him because he was so bad, Peterman. But he's a nice guy. He was I can't hate him. You know what I mean? Like, I want to hate him because he was so awful. But he's not. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. All right, Carolina Panthers. All right, they need a wide receiver 1 is what they need.
Yeah.
You know what? Truly a wide receiver 1 in this draft?
And Bryce Young took a step forward last year. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, he was better.
And I eat crow when I'm wrong. And I thought this guy was just no bueno, no good. I did not like it. I thought he was too small. He was never going to turn it around. And last year, boy, he really turned it around. And credit to him. Once again.
After he got benched.
And I forgot about that. You're right. After he got benched, came back, and boy, he played his ass off. He looked totally different. And credit to him because he must have put the work in. He must have took that personal. And cool, man. I'm interested to see what they do next year.
Some guys just need to see the game from the sidelines first.
Yeah.
And watching the Red Rifle, say what you want about Andy Dalton. He was a good quarterback in this league.
He was.
And he knows how to prepare. And he probably learned a lot watching Andy play for a few weeks. And when he came back, he was ready to take the team. And I thought he played well.
That is a perfect backup to have. Andy fucking Dalton. Guy's not going to complain if you bench him again. A good mentor, a good dude.
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Good around to have the team.
Had success in the
NFL. Had success. Yeah. You need him to come in.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's a cheap, right? Not super expensive to have. I'm like, perfect backup, bro. I'd take Andy Dalton any day of the week as our backup here, and I'd be comfortable with it. I have no problem with Andy Dalton being on this team. So, anyways, go ahead. All right, so moving forward, number 9, Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a weird team, man.
What are they going to do? Are they going to keep Lawrence? Do they move off of Lawrence? What's the plan? Do they take defense? Do they try to fix the offensive line? Do they try to give him another weapon? He already has Brian Thomas. But outside of Brian Thomas, they traded away Christian Kirk. They have Gabe Davis coming back off of injury. I have no idea what they are.
I don't either. They're a mess, man. I honestly, I don't know what to think about Lawrence. I thought initially, when I saw Lawrence in college, I'm like, damn, this guy's going to be really good in the NFL. He was really good in college. And he's good, but I don't know, something about his game don't like.
Just missing.
Yeah. And maybe it could be the team thing. Could just be the Jaguars are fucking him up. I don't. Some teams can do that, really fuck up a quarterback, and it's possible. They just ruin this kid. But I think the Jaguars are one of those teams, man.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, man. I think the Jags are, and not to mention his first year with that dopey coach. Right? I mean, if things could have gotten so.
And then,
what a
then
rocky
they brought in somebody else, and he didn't. Doug Peterson, and
Doug,
he didn't.
right.
He couldn't get it fixed, and it's.
But you know what's crazy? As a fan, if I'm a fan of Jaguars and you bring in Peterson, who's a Super Bowl coach, you would think you would be pretty excited.
Peterson ruined Carson Wentz.
I know, but he still won a Super Bowl.
He wouldn't play Jalen Hurts. He won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
I know, which is wild.
He wouldn't play Jalen Hurts either. It wasn't until they fired him that Jalen got inserted.
Yeah,
say what you want about Peterson. There was signs there saying he doesn't understand how to truly manage the quarterback position as the head guy. It could have just been a special year. Some teams had that. It just everything kind of worked out. Yeah, they got hot. Yeah, they got hot. But but that was a disaster. But yeah, and last but not least on this list is the Raiders and Pete Carroll, who I was listening to a radio station today, and they were talking about the Raiders real quick, and the guy made a great point. They're like, do you think, same thing here? Do you think this is a must sit? Do the Raiders need to, rush to get this thing done because Pete Carroll's old? And they're like, why would you hire him if that's the case? Why would you hire Pete Carroll if you're trying to rush things? Pete Carroll's the total until the day he dies. Yeah, but you don't rush. You don't work around a coach because of his age. This is the guy's point. You got to still do it the right way. So the Raiders, I think it's a good signing. Sorry, I think it's Tom Brady made. I think Tom Brady is a smart guy, obviously, and I think he made a right decision by bringing Pete Carroll in, who loves football. He's like John Gruden, right? They're a lot alike as far as their knowledge of the game and been around it for a long time. So I think it's a good coach to bring in for a team that's on a rebuild. And we'll see what they do in the draft. Go ahead, Mikey. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I do think they have a solid defensive foundation. Where they need work is on the offensive side. They brought in Geno. Smart move. Pete knows Geno. Geno's a solid NFL quarterback. If Genty's there at 5, that seems like a perfect fit. Gives them the running back that he needs for the running game. Yes. That's great. That's be a great pick for them. You are right. And man, that dude, his pro day, he was. I saw him in college. I mean, his college day. Genty may end up in New England, even though they just gave Stevenson a contract extension. Hey, if I'm New England, take whatever's best on the fucking board. Honestly, Genty's there. I'm taking a left tackle. If I'm New England, you got to protect your. I agree there too, but at the same time, man. I like Stevenson, but man, he had big time fumbling issues last year. Big time. Could not hold the rock. A new, I know. That's bad. Man, ideally, how it would go for me, the first 5 picks, I would, if I was running each of these teams, I would trade down from Ward if I was Tennessee, and I'd let the Giants come up and get him and take the haul. And then go Ward, and then take your pick, Carter or Hunter. Whatever your team wants the best. The other one takes the one that wasn't taken. And then I would go best offensive tackle, whether that's, the kid at LSU, Mamembo, or whoever it is that you think is the best. And then I would go Genty as the best actual running back because LA needs that. They need that playmaker on offense. I agree. We'll see, and like I said, Brady is going to have a part of this too, I'm sure. Yep. We'll see what they do over there. I got this last thing, and then we'll move on. So we got this best and worst NFL teams at drafting in the first round since 2014. That should be interesting. So let's see. Mikey, here we go. Number 1, starting with Dallas, their best. 2023, Maisie Smith. 2022, Tyler Smith. Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb in 2020, Van Der Esch in 2018, 2017, Taco Charlton, Ezekiel Elliott, and Byron Jones. My favorite 2 picks there are Parson and Lamb. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you there, but there's I don't think they've really hit on the last 2 first rounders, but yeah. The negatives right here. The only clear negative in their drafting was Taco Charlton in 2017. Maisie Smith too early to write off after rookie campaign. I saw him struggle. So that's that. Houston. CJ Stroud. I think we can agree now. Yeah. CJ Stroud is a good quarterback. And Will Anderson.
Will Anderson.
That was a great pick that year.
Yep. Derek Stingley Jr. Kenyon Green
was a bust.
Titus Howard. Deshaun Watson in 2017, which was a good pick. He was really good there. Will Fuller in 2016 and Kevin Johnson in 2015. They're saying Will Fuller was the game's prototype deep threat for period. Titus Howard has become a solid offensive line. The biggest miss on this list is Kevin Johnson, who displayed flashes of high-level play and an ultimately disappointing career. You agree with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Buffalo Bills, Kevin Johnson. Remember?
Yes, I do. Yep, I do. The Colts, Anthony Richardson, which is, I don't know, man. That's a question still, man, on that. Kwity Paye, Quentin Nelson,
monster.
Malik Hooker, Hooker, Ryan Kelly,
and Philip Dorsett. A lot of misses.
Yep, they're saying, let's see here. The biggest miss was in 2015. Philip Dorsett was never able to become the speed threat and receiver the team hope. Dorsett had averaged 1.08 yards per route run over his NFL career. He saw 3 targets last season without a catch. Not good, right?
I disagree. I think the biggest one is Richardson right now.
Richardson, yeah. I think still is question mark, but I agree. I don't know if you ever get it right.
Pick, man.
I'm with you. But it's still kind of early, but I'm with you. He's trending in that direction. The Chiefs, Felix, can't pronounce the name, Uzuma, Trent McDuffie, George Karlaftis.
2022. Both those guys are stars for them.
I know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Patrick Mahomes, and Marcus Peters. Wasn't saying
that 2022 class also with Trey Smith?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that.
Or was it the year before?
Maybe. McDuffie looks like a star cornerback. Marcus Peters was an impressive player. Says Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been a disappointment. And he started off good, by the way. Remember his first game? He ran for like 200 yards or something like that.
He got hurt and he hasn't been the same since.
Has not been the same since. So pretty good. Oh, here we are. Here's our team. Buffalo Bills. By the way, this is a year ago, so we're not going to see the 2024. So, but we'll say it. Let's just bring up the 2024. Why not? Keon Coleman. As of right now, Mikey? Question mark?
Giant question mark.
Right? All right, 2023. Dalton Kincaid. 2022. Right. Kair Elum. And by the way, we can mention in 2024 or 2023, we can mention Groot, right? In 2023. He's not on here. I mean, not Groot. Not Groot. I'm sorry. Osiris Torrance. I don't see him on here on this list.
Well, he has because it's a second round pick.
Yeah, but you're right. These are first round. I'm sorry. Dalton Kincaid, Kair Elum, Gregory Rousseau, Ed Oliver, Josh Allen, Edmonds, Trey White, Shaq Lawson. All right. So who do you think before you even get there?
Go back up. Let me see that the list again. Kincaid, question mark still. Elam didn't work out. Rousseau, Oliver, Allen, Edmonds, White, Lawson. I would say Elam's the biggest failure so far. But outside of that, I would say Lawson behind.
Lawson. Yeah.
And I love Shaq. Shaq was good.
I liked him too, but he was a first round pick. And I don't think he lived up to the hype that we were kind of giving.
No, I'm with you on that. But really, we hit on most of those first round picks.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, you're right. Except for Kair. Kair was the biggest bust. I mean, if we're looking now at it, I think Kincaid's still a question mark. But let's see what they say. I have a feeling they're going to say Elam. They did.
White showed superstar potential early.
Before injuries.
Rousseau and Ed have each been above average players. The biggest miss is Elam.
Right.
But it was beaten out by 6th rounder Christian Benford in his own class. And Christian Benford graded out as, especially with PFF, as one of the top 5 corners last 2 years. So
Right. And thank God for that.
If we would have taken Benford in round 1 and Elam in round 6, no one would give 2 shits.
Right. Exactly. If it was flipped around, people are like, damn, that Kair Elam 6th round.
Maybe damn that Brandon Beane knows how to draft.
Right. That's garbage Elam in the 6th round. Could have got somebody else in the 6th round. What happened?
Okay.
I heard
my other monitor just went black on me. I was like, uh-oh.
Are you good? All right. All right. Next up, Jaguars. Anton Harrison, Trevon Walker, Devin Lloyd. Man, they've had a lot of picks, a lot of first round. Look at all these first round. Holy shit! Right, Lawrence, like, Etienne,
Walker,
Henderson
over Hutchinson was the biggest miss of them all.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I like the
Josh Allen one.
Walker's been good, but he hasn't been Hutchinson.
No, I agree. They've had some hits here though. Josh Allen's, I feel, is a hit.
Yeah.
Fournette, he was a good running back. I would say that's a hit. Ramsey, it was a hit.
Yeah. I think CJ Henderson's probably the worst. See, it's one of these two would be my guess.
Okay.
It's the 2020 draft. I'm guessing it's one of those two.
Yeah. Let's see what they say. They say Ramsey was a home run. Trevor Lawrence has yet to quite live up to the pre-draft billing, which I agree.
Slide up.
Walker was a wild statement pick with Aiden Hutchinson has been top edge.
We're not going to say who the worst was?
I'm looking. Wherefore team has spent. Yeah, I don't see. It doesn't say.
That is dumb.
Yeah, that's weird because the rest have top of. Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah, so it is what it. We'll say it for him. The Raiders 2023 Tyree Wilson. Alex Leatherwood. Remember that pick?
God. Yeah.
Oh, no. I remember that because remember that on draft night? They were freaking out on draft night when they did that. Remember that?
He was like great as a third-round pick, and they took him in the first.
Yes. Henry Ruggs.
Some bad ones. Henry Ruggs was going to be a star until he got
He was, but right. So you have to count it as a bust.
Cleveland Farrell. Remember that pick?
Oh my God, they've had some bad ones.
Top 10 edge that was like, what are you doing?
Yes. There's Cooper, 2015. That's a good pick.
God, I'm going to say Leatherwood was the worst, but they've had some bad ones.
Says Cooper was an excellent selection, but the team traded him away. Team as last with team as we were come. Yes, yeah. So they're not saying all the bad ones. I don't know why.
Now they did early.
Yeah, weird. I don't know. We'll call it how it is.
Go.
Oh, you see it?
Raiders have something with the punchline for first round misses over the past decade. History not reflecting kindly on the personnel moves of the Mayock Gruden era. 3-year run from 19 to 21 that could have been a period that built this into instead they turned into 6 first round selections into 1 capable starter at running back. That tells you everything you need to know right there.
Right there. Bad. Patriots, Christian Gonzalez, obviously good. Cole Strange, Mac Jones, bad pick. Nicole Harry, bad. Isaiah Wynn, Sony Michel, Malcolm Brown. Boy, they've had some.
I'm guessing it's going to be Isaiah Wynn and Nicole Harry's the worst.
A lot of those are bad, bro.
Wynn didn't even make it out of his first year. And
this is under Bill, by the way.
Yeah.
This is all Bill's picks.
Bill wasn't a great drafter.
No, these are
He was a fantastic free agent getter, horrible drafter.
Holy shit. Receiver N'Keal Harry was a disastrous selection. Typified the Patriots' inability to find receiving help that lasted years. Best selection would be Christian Gonzalez. So, yeah, I agree. But, oh, man, that's terrible.
Start back in Green Bay.
Failure was Mac Jones.
Yeah.
God, so bad.
The baby goat. Remember that's everyone called him was the baby goat?
Yeah, he's so bad. He was so bad. Titans.
You mean Peter Pro Bowler Mac Jones? Who did the gritty on the last like after he did the gritty, they never played the Pro Bowl game again.
So cheesy. And of all people to do it, that cheesy guy, bro. Titans, Peter Skrzynkowski, Traylon Burks, Caleb Farley, Isaiah Wynn, Jeffrey Simmons. I like Jeffrey Simmons. Rashaan Evans, Corey Davis.
It's either Burks or Farley for me.
Mariota.
I'm saying it's Burks because Burks hasn't done anything. And Farley hasn't done anything. I'm guessing it's one of those two.
Yeah, maybe Mariota too, bro. I mean, he's not terrible, but you wasted a first round pick.
These guys were terrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad picks here. Not many of these guys
Davis
worked out.
had better numbers with the Jets than he did with the Titans.
It says Wilson. Yep, Wilson played 3 snaps for the team before off-field concerns led to his departure.
God, yeah, okay, that's the Isaiah. It wasn't Wynn, it's Isaiah Wilson. I knew it was one of those Georgia guys that got that was horrible. Then Miami picked him up, remember? Because his coach from college was there, and then they cut him right away because he showed up to practice late.
Yes. Look at it. Traylon Burks was put in the unenviable position of needing to replace what the team traded away A.J. Brown. Oh, man. Terrible. Marcus Mariota started for a while. Yeah, it's bad. Eagles, Jalen Carter. Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis.
Let's get through this. We haven't done the draft yet.
Smith, Rieger, Dillard. They've had some good picks here. Wentz obviously didn't work out. Aguilar was okay. Rieger. So, and that's it.
Right.
That is it. So, that was pretty cool. I always good to go down memory lane there on some of the. But let's pull it up. We'll do one mock draft. 2 hours. Damn, we've had a long show.
Yeah,
it's been fun though. Been fun.
Okay.
All right, guys. Last mock draft before the actual real draft.
This is the chat's mock, right?
Yeah. Chat's definitely going to be involved in this. So.
Okay. So we're going to enter. And
can you blow that up a little bit or no? It would be covering us.
It'd be much harder.
Okay. Got you. All right, chat. We're going to have to, if you can't see it, Mikey will let you know who's available.
Yeah.
Because I can.
So I'm going to go 10 at a time. All right, so the top 10 went Ward, Sanders 2 to the Browns.
Okay.
Graham 3, Carter 4, Genty 5, Hunter 6, Membu, Campbell, Warren, and John Campbell, the linebacker.
Okay.
Yikes! That's the first time I've ever seen the shake out like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to get to 15, and then we're going to discuss.
Yep.
Because we want to go right after 15. Okay. So then it goes Brown, Tet, Will Johnson, Shamar Stewart, Golden. So at 16, do you trade up? And thank you, Robert. Have a good night, brother.
Okay. Have a good night, Robert.
Do you trade up, Tommy? To 16.
Okay, so right. So who's picking 16? We got the Cardinals, right? Let's just go 16 through 20. Let's see we got the Cardinals, we got the Bengals, we got Seattle, we got Tampa, and we got Denver.
Guys who show up as needing defensive line is Cardinals' second biggest need, Bengals' second biggest need, and the Denver's fourth biggest need.
I would think Seattle might play ball here, right? They're rebuilding. They want extra picks, right? If you're rebuilding, you want draft capital. Like if I'm a rebuilding team, I want the most draft picks I can get. Right, now's the time. This is the time where bad teams need to get as many draft picks as you can, build capital, get players in there. So I'm dealing with Seattle. If it's me,
okay. It says who's the defense? You have everybody. All the corners minus Will Johnson and all the defense tackles minus Graham at this point. So go back 2 picks, let these 2 picks, and then see where we're at. Because we're not trying to go up to 16. We'd be looking to go to 18.
Correct.
Okay. So now we're at 18. Are you trying to move up for Grant here?
I'm calling Seattle on the phone. Me personally, I'm dealing with Seattle. I think Seattle would be. Okay. Listen, it's not a division. Right, they're an NFC team. They're looking, like I said, they're rebuilding. They're looking to add more draft capital. I think they would be partners here.
So if we give them 30 and 62, it says 100% likely to be traded. If we ask for 137 back, we ask for 92 back, it's at a 53% chance. So let's just
that would be it. Yeah.
Offer trade. They accepted it. So we took our second.
One of our second
round picks and moved back to the third to move up. So now that we're on the clock,
it's not terrible at all.
You have your choice. That's actually not terrible. You have your choice. You take Grant or you take one of the corners.
See, I'm going Grant here because I think the D line's the most right now, and I think we can get there's corners available that I like. Other corners besides Amos, I still think we can get Amos. We still have a second round pick. We can do some trading up if we
wide receivers. So you have Burden, you have Mbuka as your wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm not touching a receiver here.
So you're going Grant.
I have a goal.
You want to look at edges?
Yeah, sure. Let's look at the edge. That can't hurt because once again, Bosa's on a 1-year deal. I don't care. He's not coming back after this year. No matter what he does.
Mike Green still on the board? I'm not sure I'm moving up for Mike Green though.
Right. Yeah, I like him.
If I'm moving up, I'm moving up for probably Grant.
Yeah, he's to me he's the best available right now. Like if
you have Pierce, Green, Scorton, and Michael Williams are like the first round.
So what do we do? What do we do here, chat? Let's give it like 1 minute. Let's see what the chat says. What player you like here the best? We just did a deal with Seattle. We didn't really. I felt like that's a great trade. If that was a trade that really happened, I'd be fine with that deal. We'd be ecstatic for that deal.
Yeah, I actually thought it was good. We went from 62 to 92, so we dropped back in the second to a third. We moved up, so now we have a first, second, and third round pick, but we moved up to the top 15 to take the player that we wanted. Grant.
Absolutely.
So Grant, it's going to be.
Okay.
All right. Are we looking to move up in round 2 to try to secure a safety?
I would say, a safety or a corner. Yeah, a corner for sure. Obviously we're going to see how the rest of the round goes here.
So here's how it went. Mbuka, Williams, Josh Simmons, Mike Green, Banks, Hampton, Zabel, Nolan, Pierce, Booker, Starks, Murier, Skirton, and Alexander. Okay. So then we're back on the clock at here. I don't think we're moving up to the first pick of the second round.
No.
So I would be thinking probably around 39 is where we would probably need to go up. But I'm thinking we're going to have to give up our second and our third to get up there.
Yeah. What do we got left as far as picks go? So what are we working with?
We have 56, 92, 109, 132, 169, 170, 173, 177, and 206.
And we still got stuff to deal. By the way, we still deal a player. I'm just, but we're not going to do it in this draft. But I'm just saying it could happen. I'm just throwing that out there.
So here's where I was thinking right around, I think between 39 and 40 because the Bears have 2 picks here.
Okay.
So if we try to go 39, we want to give up this and this, and then try to get back. They don't really have any. They don't really have late picks.
No.
Anything back. So let's try this.
Ooh, they're not even slightly interested.
There we go. So we give up 56, 109, 170, 173. So we can throw in a couple of the late picks, then we keep the 92.
Chuck saying Cook to Chicago, try adding Cook into the pot. I mean, I don't even know if we'd have to give up it would be a straight up trade. I mean, but does Chicago need who's Chicago running back? Who do they got right now?
Swift.
Huh? Swift? Oh, they got okay.
So we can go Cook and a third, but no, we go a second and Cook. They'll make that deal.
Absolutely.
You make that deal?
They want to take a third and Cook?
Nope, but they'll take a second and Cook for 39.
See, I want something back though. More than just a second. Then you're giving up Cook as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'd rather get the later picks.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. Because Cook, Cook's still a playmaker for us. I'm not trying to. Because now we're fishing for a running back.
See, I'd go like this. I'd give up 4 picks. I'd go 56, 109, 170, and 177.
That's an L. Somebody says they don't like that.
That's fine. You don't have to like it. That's going to land us Trey Amos.
There you go. And once again, somebody
Or
who can
Xavier Watts, depending on what you like. Who needs a
What's the
running
other
back?
corner? What's the other corner that I like that we were talking about? Chevelle.
Ravel?
Yeah,
Ravel?
Chevelle.
Siobhan Ravel.
Yeah, Siobhan Ravel.
He's at 44.
I like him though. I do. I wouldn't even be mad if the Bills drafted him. Just throwing that out there.
So who would you take? Would you take Ravel? Who's
I would take him.
But he's also 23 years
I like
old.
the height. I like the height.
I know
I always like. And what's the speed?
It doesn't say.
Okay. It doesn't have the speed on there. Okay.
The difference is I think Amos is a better run defender than Chevelle. And he doesn't have the injury history.
He's still pretty tall, 6'1".
Yep, 6'1", 190.
Not like he's a small corner.
And he's a 4'4" guy. Chevelle, I don't think he ran because he's coming off the injury.
You're right. I forgot about that. See, I once again, though, I wouldn't hate the pick.
Trick says go with Watts.
Yeah, I would go Amos here. I would. But once again, if he wasn't available, I'd go the other.
What about Harrison? Do you have any interest in Harrison?
I like him. But
he's fast.
I think
the problem is he's a liability in run defense.
Yeah, but if you're trying to take the best out of the bunch, I think it would be Amos at this. I mean, for me.
Yep. I mean, if we went Grant Amos, I don't give a shit what we do in the rest of the draft. I'm happy.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously it wouldn't matter.
See if the Saints or Browns will take Cook. Okay, so let's see what's there.
Man, can you imagine?
Watts went to the Jets.
Brandon Beane going
I don't know what
out.
we would trade up for. If we traded up to get Watts, I would have been down for it. But now we'd be trading Cook for nothing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not trying to get rid of him because it don't matter. Cook has to play out his deal. Right. He has to play out his rookie contract. So I'm not trying to get rid of a playmaker for nothing at the same time. He has to play. So if you're going to trade Cook, you're going to want at least a second round.
So let's finish out this draft, this round, and then we'll go up and look.
By the way, who's Cincinnati's running back? Do they still got our old running back, Zach Moss? Oh, that's right. They got the one guy who's not bad. I forgot his name, but he's not like great. But that'd be an interesting.
Landon would have been a pick that they could have gone at 45. You're right. And
Can you imagine Cincinnati? Now that would be a decent package deal. You send James Cook over to Cincy for Hendrickson on a swap.
Ooh,
and maybe a draft.
Add him.
Yeah, because think about it. They got. Yeah, think about it. They're trying to get rid. They got one guy they're trying to unhaul money wise. We got a guy we're trying to unhaul money wise. Really, it's both guys want money. It's really what's boiling down to. So,
okay,
100%.
Right, we go to Cincinnati, or that's Cleveland. Let's go to Cincinnati. Where's Cincinnati?
Helping each other out, man.
We're going to go down and we're going to grab their edge rusher. We're going to go down and grab Cook. Wherever Cook is at. Right there. And we throw a third in. So our 3 picks, we take the 3 picks and we end up with Hendrickson, Amos, and Grant.
Dude, guys, that would be.
Would you do that?
The unbelievable dreams. Of course. You kidding me?
They would take 132 for that and Cook.
And you still can draft a running. There's a lot of good running backs in this draft, by the way. So you still can swing that running back.
All right.
Still yeah, dude, that would be epic, bro. Like, honestly, ain't nobody would be hating on that. Nobody. And if you can't find it don't matter. Ray Davis he'd be fine. He'd be fine for the year. You figure it out next year.
Henderson already went. So this would be where at 92, you might run into like a Martinez.
Exactly. And I like Martinez. Tough runner.
right? And the Bengals seem more interested in offense. Like, let's not get it twisted though. Cook would make that offense even more dangerous.
Absolutely, but we're adding. Now our defense is dangerous. I mean, like, with on top of Grant that we just got, right?
And Amos,
right, dude. Hendrickson,
so with our third round pick, you can go Martinez here. You can go Rutledge as the future left guard. Mm-hmm. You can go Mbuka as the safety, who could be the center fielder.
Him. Yeah, I like him too. God, I might go safety there.
Let's see. I think he's considered a D lineman. Let's grab both of them. So here's who's left. This guy has played linebacker and edge rusher. Old Dojo. Out of he's like Savion Jones is basically a clone of Groot, just big and Walker. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's still there. Walker's gone.
I think we can wait. I think Martinez might be there in the next. How many more picks we got?
We next one's 169. We have 3 picks left.
I don't know if he falls that far though.
I don't think he falls that far. But
yeah.
I don't know if I need.
But I'm okay with Ray Davis. Exactly.
Ray Davis
That's my
and
point.
Ty Johnson.
Exactly. I think we can. I think we'd be fine with them. We saw Ray Davis fill in. He did fine. Mm-hmm. Not going to give you that home run threat, but he wasn't slow either. He has some big plays.
Would you go Mbuka here?
I would, because I'm concerned about Taylor Rapp. I'm not so on Bishop just yet.
1 year left on his deal, but then you have Bishop and Mbuka as your young safety combo.
Yeah, and we'll see what Bishop does. I have no idea, but you're right. And Rapp can't stay healthy either. Like, I'm with you there. You get a young guy there.
This is awesome. Beane Snoop likes to snoop around. Hopefully he studies this.
Dude, what if it would be unbelievable?
I'm going to go Mbuka here.
Yeah. Now this is an aggressive draft.
This is an aggressive draft.
This is super aggressive. This is highly aggressive. This is Beane pulling all the cards.
Yep. So I'm going back to the Browns. Because I don't think Martinez went yet.
Ooh, no, that's interesting. Okay.
And try to
see. This is where,
for Martinez.
Okay.
Even if we have all 3, nope. We'd have to give up a future pick.
All right.
Not gonna happen.
That's all right. Like I said, I think we can get by with
Martinez went to the Patriots.
Which, I guess, I mean, maybe they would take him.
I'm gonna speed this up a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because at this point, we probably will wait until.
See if Thornton's available, or if he's still around. Just curious, because I definitely would draft him late.
Let's see. I don't see Thornton gone yet. So I think he's still there right now. Thornton
with the speed, I think he's a.
You think they move up for him? Because we're at 145 and we're at 169. I don't know if he's gonna be there in 20 picks. Is he worth moving up for?
No, I would say no. He's not worth wait, but I think he might be there. He might be.
Let's see. Closing in. All right, so let's go look at wide receiver. I would probably take Felton here, but if you want that X.
I just like that speed and height from what Thornton brings, bro. We need
and we
that
still
speed.
Have Gore. Don't forget, we still have Gore too. Gore could
be. Who looked good in
RB3.
preseason? Yeah, he looked fine. I had no problem with Gore. Once again, he's not an RB1.
Spaghetti Steve. It's pronounced Makuba. Okay. Makuba. Okay. Oh yeah, we do also have, Forrest from Washington, but this gives us 2 young safeties in Bishop.
Forgot about Forrest. You're right.
Makuba to move forward with.
Yeah.
Tesla Thornton.
Look at Robert still in the building. He wants Thornton. I'm telling you, Thornton to me, this stage, You want a guy with speed, which we've want that with height. By the way,
throw the dart. You throw the dart.
You
right?
throw the dart here, yeah, man.
Okay, so with our last pick, what are you looking at?
This one's just a flyer, man. This one's just a prospect, right? A guy that a project type player.
A Kyle McCord, a Malachi Moore.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
Let's look at tight end because we don't have another tight end.
No, Quentin Morse is not on the team anymore.
You know, are any of these guys? I don't know anything about these tight ends.
Any quarterbacks? Let's go to the quarterbacks with shits and giggle. You never know. We're on the last pick. Why not? So let's see who's sitting out there.
They're saying he might be the best thrower of the football in this draft.
Tyler.
Yeah. We grabbed Thornton. The Bills watches these podcasts, can tell by the moves that you make. What get me the Greg that comes on with One Bills Live and they don't take his
advice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like you can go Dolak. You could take Dolak. He's a homegrown guy, but at 173, it seems like they would move down if they were going to do that.
Yeah.
Is JJ still there? JJ's is a dual way player as well because he can play, fullback as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, JJ's gone. Yeah, JJ went. Play tight end. Yeah. So, the quarterbacks. So we have Tyler Show. We have Kyle McCord, Curtis Rourke. You have any of them that shout out to you?
McCord's okay.
No, he's 6'5", 225.
Big dude.
26 years old though.
Yeah, so he'd be an older draft pick.
But he's a backup.
Yeah, he's a backup.
McCord's 6'3", 220. He's a couple years younger. He's not real mobile, but in our everyone eats offense, you don't have to be mobile.
Mm-hmm. What about guard? Any decent guards out there? We didn't draft a guard, right? We missed that.
Yeah, let's
or tackles. Yeah.
Fairchild just seems like yes, please.
Let's do it. Yeah, go for it. Finish out the draft with the guard.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
man,
technically we still had 206, but I didn't put us to 7.
I got you. All right, let's see what they did.
All right, so we traded 30 and 62 for 18 and 92 and drafted Kenneth Grant. We then came back and traded 56, 109, 170, and 177 for 39 and took Amos. Then we took Makuba. They did not like the Thornton. They did not like the Thornton pick. We took Thornton and Fairchild to finish it out. But also we traded
you're right. Yeah.
and Cook for Hendrickson. So we ended with Grant, Amos, Hendrickson, and Makuba as the guys that we expect to have impact this year.
Yeah. That is an A. That's not a B. That's an A. You get Hendrickson. Yes, now I will say you do lose a playmaker and Cook. I get that. So it's almost, I'll be honest with you, that trade kind of evens out a little bit because you're losing one playmaker to gain another, right? But what has hurt us the most? The defense. Our offense is fine. Listen, we got the AFC Championship game with Devin Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
I like James Cook, but we can get there again as long as we got Josh Allen. And I feel like, once again, our running back room is not bad. I really don't. I thought Ray Davis showed flashes last year, and he could catch out the backfield as well. So it's not like he's only a runner. He has that ability as well. And obviously, Ty is a good running back and receiving. So I'd be fine with. But listen, we could get by without having a Cook type running back for 1 year. We can get that in the following draft if we feel that way. We have no idea if Ray Davis could fill his shoes. We don't know that yet. So I think we'd be fine. I think our problem is defense, and we're this draft, the one we did,
fixes defense, and you added Hendrickson on top of it, who's already, what you're getting there, right? You 100% know what you're getting with Henderson. And you got 2 first-round talents in Grant and Amos, because Amos is a borderline first-round talent. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Steve. You said, oh, wait, I wouldn't trade Cook. If you had a chance to trade Cook and a 4th-rounder for Hendrickson, would you do it?
So,
because now what we're missing on defense is impact players. So now you just got the big body in Grant that you asked for. You added another high talent corner. You've added another actual free safety, not a big safety, a free safety. And then you added a game wrecker on the edge.
But I think where he's going is he's saying basically why would they do that knowing they have to, what he's asking when they could just draft a rookie.
You have one guy asking for $30 million. You have the other guy asking for 15. Right. And if they're only going to play with a 1-year guy, maybe they decide they want it on offense because that's what they're built for right now.
And that doesn't necessarily mean James Cook is with prices go lower on it. You don't know that. Like he may be asked 15 to play in Buffalo. Maybe he goes and wants to play Cincinnati. He'll go cheaper because he likes it. You never know. You have no idea, but it doesn't matter because you're getting him on his rookie contract still. So no matter what, you're getting a 1 year out of him. By
this trade, they're saving $15 million against the cap too.
It's exactly. So they're saving money. They're getting a player that is still on his rookie deal. They don't necessarily need to sign him right away. They can let him play this 1 year and see how he's doing and go, okay, you know what? We'll give you this and that. Or you walk. Look, by the way, Stephon Diggs, same thing. Went to the Houston Texans. He was a loner. That was it. So, yes, teams will do that. Absolutely.
Williams from State. He's just as big as Grant and pass rush upside. Williams from State. What Williams is he talking about? I'd rather just draft Amos and do anything I can to trade up for Williams. Oh, okay. Ohio State. Yeah. Tyreek Williams. I mean, no difference than what we did here. We did Grant and then we traded up for Amos. It'd be not much different. Like this, I like this draft. If we did something like this, I also love the Hendrickson pickup because that gives us the true game wrecker. Mm-hmm. And now Bosa's just a wild card. Truly a wild card. And then think of a 3rd down package of kicking Groot inside and running Bosa, Hendrickson, and Groot and Oliver.
Right.
Oh, that'd be so fun. Anyways, this is just for fun anyways. I don't think we come close to this.
No.
In real life.
That would be the most aggressive.
But I love the idea. I love the idea behind it. If we could walk away with Amos and Grant, I would have been happy.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Grant isn't worth trading up for and giving up Cook. Well, I didn't give up Cook for Grant. I gave up Cook for Hendrickson.
Right. It was a swap, basically.
Yeah.
So,
like, it just take the whole Cook thing out. And we walked away with Grant, Amos, Makuba, Thornton, and Fairchild, plus another 4th-round pick. Would you be okay with that draft?
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if we did nothing, in the 4th round, say you took a running back or you double dipped a corner or you did something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the only reason we did
Cook trade was just by itself.
Just to throw it out there.
Exactly.
Had nothing to do with
the actual draft. I just threw that in there.
Yep.
Yeah, he wants a new deal just like Cook wants a new deal.
Exactly. So what would you rather the one thing that we desperately need, which is a game wrecker on defense, or Cook who's demanding a lot, and I feel like you could find, like somebody commented in the section in the chat, in the draft. I really do believe that. I like Cook, but Trey Hendrickson, James Cook. I don't know. I'm going Hendrickson. That's me. I like
The
Cook
offense?
once again, but I think our offense can get by without James Cook and still be a good offense. I don't think this isn't a case of we're losing Josh Allen or we're losing, let's say if we had Stephon Diggs at his prime with us and we're like, oh, we're going to get rid of Diggs and get nothing. Now we have nobody for Josh. That's not the case. Like we would be fine. This offense, I feel like, would still be rolling. Yeah, because
fine.
Yeah.
So you're trading a player who plays 50% of it or less than 50% of the snaps
exactly
for a game record on the defensive side.
Exactly. That we've been needing and wanting for the longest time.
Oh yeah, this is a pipe dream. I was just playing. I'm like, I'm going with the ultimate dream draft.
Right.
That's all I was doing. Like at this point, when I got up and got Grant, and then I traded back up to get Amos, and I'm like, okay. And then I took Makuba, and I'm like, well, the ultimate dream here would be to go get, Trey.
Right. We did the ultimate aggressive, unlikely
Tommy's dream draft is what we did. We even took Thornton, who he wanted so badly.
We took the over the top. Brandon Beane just woke up in one of those moods.
Brandon Beane woke up and chose violence on draft day.
Right. He said enough of this bullshit.
I don't care about my picks. F them picks. F the guys who don't want to resign here. Here's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, you don't want to. You're not happy. Oh, you sold your game ball. Okay. Well, go enjoy Cincinnati. I mean,
we ended up in the top 29 of Bills drafts. Top 29% of the Bills drafts.
Dude, I would be stoked.
Which he should probably wake up and do, right? Absolutely. I'm with you on that. All right, Tommy, this was fun.
This was fun, man. I had a great time on this Friday night with you and with all of Bills Mafia. Once again, I will be back here on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. With the AFC East group. So it'll be Curtis, Captain D, Anthony, who covers the Jets, Zach, who covers the Patriots. Mikey's coming on. We're going to get into the AFC East, which it's always fun. Hearing everyone's side of things, how they feel their teams are doing. You don't want to miss that show. So Tuesday at 9 o'clock, be here. And then obviously next week, me and Mikey, we're going to be a 3-day event. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all 7 rounds of the draft, all 3 days. We're live. So you're going to see our reactions like we always, oh, fuck, no, why, or yeah. So you're going to see those. So don't miss it. We'll be here.
Yep.
And guys, appreciate you as always rocking with us. Until next week, we love you. Bills Mafia, we're out of here. Peace. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Mm-hmm.